Go for it. I'm starting now. You can run up and get your headphones. Guys, what's up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live, episode 114. I kind of caught Mike off guard because, well, Mike's computer caught him off guard because he got an update. Literally, that's like my worst nightmare, dude. Like every time I'm like, I'm gonna have an update,
I
or my
know.
PC's not gonna turn on, or my webcam's gonna act weird. Something's gonna happen. But yeah,
And I
Mike
always
got an
like to try
update,
to get
dude.
that stuff going beforehand, but I just didn't have much time. I'm down in the basement building some Module case drawers
Dude,
here.
that looks miserable. But obviously the end product is what we're worried
Yeah.
about. But yeah, it does not look like fun. But yeah, so Mike had to join last minute on his phone because he is on time Mike. Of course, you can see it right there's on time Mike. But Mike, if you have to go grab your headphones or do whatever, I'll hold the chat off until you get
Yeah,
back.
computer just came on, so I'm going to switch over.
Sweet. So guys, he will be here. Don't worry, he's not disappearing on us. But I'll hold it down until you get back. Well, guys, now you have just me. What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well on this fine Tuesday evening. Lane will not be joining us tonight. Chris will be joining us. He busted his ass at work to get here on time, and he still didn't end up being on time because they said, "Oh, you're working your ass off. Oh, here you go. Here's some last minute work." Funny Kaiju is in here because I actually have Kaiju's video pulled up to take a look at a couple of these Japan exclusives. Lane is a chicken. Dude, Kaiju, if you're bored, let me know, bro. I'll send you over the link. We got a light panel tonight. But yeah, I got Kaiju actually did a video showing off some of these exclusives on display, which is really cool to be able to take a look at that. Not the some people were calling it the Diddy Trooper because like people are crazy, man. Some people were calling it the Diddy Stormtrooper. We don't have any video of that yet, I don't think, because that was obviously announced after those other two, Galen and the Vader. So we have photos of that, but nothing on video. But of course, we will take a look at it. But guys, I'll say what's up to everybody in the chat. It's going to be nice this stream because we only are talking about Hot Toys this stream. Nothing else really happened this week, but that's a good thing because last stream, if you guys were here, I mean, we were here for over 2 hours. It was a fun stream, but it was just a lot to cover. There was just so much stuff. So this week, great Hot Toy stuff, but we're going to be able to pace ourselves a little bit better, which is nice, trust me. Sometimes you pray for more stuff, and then when it actually comes, you're like, maybe I should not pray for so much. But yeah, we're going to take a look at some really cool stuff this week, some really awesome exclusives, and I'm going to say what's up to everybody in the chat. Once Mike gets back, we'll get started, and he'll be back very, very shortly. So, guys, let's see who's in the chat tonight. We got Sneaky Figures in the house. What's up, my dude? A moderator and Hotline Hottie and a good friend. I hope you're doing well, bro. Sneaky Figure says, let's effing go. We got Valkyrie Madness in the house. What's up, Valk? I hope you're doing well, bro. Another channel member and a great friend. Valk says, good afternoon, Connor and friends. Good afternoon to you. Evening for me. It's been hot here the past couple days, guys. You can't see it now, but there will be a nice glazing of sweat on my face before the stream ends, I promise you, because it's pretty hot. And when I run my fan, I just feel weird, you know? You can see it spinning in the reflection in the background, so I sweat for you guys. But thank you so much for being here, Valk. I appreciate you. We got my boy Fig Poser in the house with the new username. New him. What's up, bro? Hope you're doing well. That profile picture is creepy as creepy as hell, man. He says, let's fucking go, hotties. Let's go. Everybody, if you haven't already, consider dropping a like on the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. I feel like you guys probably have already done that. But if you haven't, head on over, smash that like button, as Chris would say. I very much would appreciate it. We got Pedro Lopez in the house. What's up, Pedro? Pedro says, hello, all. Another channel member. I know that hashtag hotline confirmed has got to be somewhere in the chat, or he's slacking for sure. And I might have caught him slacking for once. I'm not seeing it, man. You're not holding up to your end of the bargain, Pedro. But what's up, Pedro? I hope you're doing well, bro. Thank you so much for being here, as always. We got Tijuana Mike in the house, another channel member, an absolute lad. I hope you're doing well, Tijuana. Mike says, happy Tuesday, collectors. Happy Tuesday to you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's good. Hope you're not sweating like I am. I know a lot of people, you know, it's starting to warm up, which is a good thing. I prefer the warmer weather, but I don't like sweating, that's for sure. Let's see. We got Gio, the movie can, another channel member. Gio, I know you're coming up on episode 50, so congrats on that. If all goes well, Gio may be coming on very soon on the channel, on stream. I won't say when, because if something happens and Gio's not able to make it, I don't want to, you know, let anybody down. But either way, Gio will make it on somewhere soon. So, Gio, thank you so much for being here, bro, as always. And thank you for the support, being a hotline hottie, because you are a hottie through and through. Thank you so much for being here. My dude, Sal. I was just chatting with Sal shortly before the stream started. Sal, I hope you're doing well, bro. Always great to see you. Sal says, what up, my dude? What's up, bro? Yeah, guys, we got some bad news. Some sad news for me. Beyond the Spider-Verse delayed to June 2027. What kind of bullshit is that, man? I mean, crazy. The way Brick put it, I'm like, damn, I really feel. Brick's like, dude, I'll be pushing 38 when that comes out. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Sorry, dude. But yeah, 2027, June 2027. And then we have the next Spider-Man Holland film coming out a year before that. So it's like, sucks, man. For an animated film that doesn't have set pieces and stuff like that, pretty crazy. They got delayed that much. Let's see. We got one Adam 12 in the house. What's up, Adam? I hope you're doing well, bro. Another Hotline Hottie and a great friend. Adam says, hello, Connor and the Hotline Hotties. What's up, bro? Thank you so much for being here, Adam. And I know Adam said he watched my Anakin video and he made that decision to grab that Anakin. So I don't know what you paid, Adam. I hope you got a good enough price, because I know all that talk about the Anakin and he's still selling for $1,200. So
Yeah.
Crazy, I hope you got a decent enough price. Dude, it is crazy. I hope you got a decent enough price, though. And thank you, as always, for being here. Big Dog Pound, I'm sorry Chris couldn't be here on time tonight because the work screwed him over, but we're going to give you a... Woo! I don't have a belt, dude. I don't have a belt at all. I'll give you a one Mega Man blast.
Yeah.
There you go. You get one Mega Man blast.
Scissor blast.
And then a scissor stab. Dude, you can't take... I said blast. You have to be stabbed. And then just to follow that... Oh, Michael Jackson's falling over. And then one axe chop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Michael Jackson completely just busted his ass, but it's all right. Sorry, Michael. At least it's not the in-art one. But Big Dog Pound, thank you so much for being here. As always, bro, the GOAT moderator. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Let's see. Thank you, Sal. I was actually really surprised that, and it wasn't just me, like even Justin's review, he like barely was cracking like 10, 11K, which is not a lot for him. I guess there wasn't that many people searching up the Spider-Punk, but I appreciate that. That figure is freaking awesome. It really is. I absolutely love it. Of course, that wasn't my copy. That was one of my Jeremy Casa signature review copies. So that is actually in the hands of Brick Artemis now, and I know he had a great time reviewing it, and he'll be posting his soon. But tomorrow, guys, for those of you who actually care about the Across the Spider-Verse stuff, I will have a review up of Miles G. Morales, which there aren't too many reviews of that up yet. So really excited to take a look at the Prowler. For those of you who are curious what that figure looks like and how it turned out, I will have a video of that up tomorrow. Let's see. My boy, Feel the Burn. What's up, Feel the Burn? Another channel member, a Hotline Hottie. He says, what's up? Or excuse me, I'm reading it wrong. Welcome, Star Children. What's up, my friend? I hope you're doing well. As always, great to see you on the streams. I feel like every stream I tune in now, I see your face. Everywhere I go, I see his face. But it's a good thing. I think you have an absolute blast in the streams. And you always have really great opinions. So always great to see you, my friend. Let's see. Did I skip over 12-inch? I did. 12-inch Smooth Stream says, hello, community of collectors. DP Battle Damage. He's talking about Deadpool Battle Damage. Shipped yesterday for me. Dopode, Deadpool. Pre-ordered X23 and Purple Rain. Well, congrats on that. I did not get the Purple Rain. I did pre-order Deadpool from Sideshow today. Because I'm about to go on vacation, I cannot afford to shell out the money for a early 500 or 300 batch, whatever it was. But I know you're going to be very excited for that one. I know you're a big Deadpool guy, so very happy for you. Excuse me. I'm guessing you probably ended up getting it from Jeremy. And I know Joey has one on the way from Jeremy as well, so I'm guessing he'll probably get his in the next 3-4 days like you. So congrats on that. I got mine from Sideshow. I had like 150 in rewards, so I've been waiting to drop them, and I know like mid-April for a lot of us, those start expiring, so I'm like, perfect. Deadpool Battle Damage, here we go.
What are they charging for him?
$330, which isn't too bad. I don't think that's too bad for everything he comes with. I mean, obviously we're pushing those higher prices with the Marvel stuff, but I think for like
comes with, yeah, it's good.
Right,
yeah.
2 sculpts or 3 sculpts. I'm saying 2 sculpts. It comes with 3 sculpts. He's got, you know, all of the Wolverine skeleton accessories. I think that's pretty fair for what it is, you know. I mean, I paid like, I think
the portal,
I mean, granted mine were like custom and made by a custom maker there, but they were like a little over 200 for just those Artisan Wolverine accessories alone. So $330 is not bad.
Yeah.
But Moose, one of the OG Hotline Hotties, thank you so much for being here, my friend, as always. We got Payton 23 in the house. What's up, Payton? Always great to see you, my friend. A moderator and a good friend, and the OG gift meister. He's got a gift for every situation, even if it's a bad one. Someone just passed away in your family, he might have a gift for it. Just saying, he might have a gift for it. Tom Daly in the house. What's up, Tom? I hope you're doing well, bro. Always great to see you. He says, my guy, how you doing, buddy? Still waiting on that Willis conversion for Anakin. Yeah, I mean, me too, technically, because I do have one order overseas, but I would love a second one, and I certainly wouldn't say no to a second one. So we'll see. But I hope everybody gets there first before I get my second one. So fingers crossed for all you guys. I know a lot of waitlist conversions went out. I wasn't one of them, but I know some of you guys ended up picking up, so I'm happy for you guys, because we're going to talk about the Anakin. We are saving Anakin to the end because there's going to be a more drawn-out discussion on it. I've got many different photos. If you guys haven't watched my Anakin video yet, I've been digesting this figure, and I've got a solid opinion on it now. So, Boba Fettuccine in the house, another hotline hottie, and the absolute goated username, Boba Fettuccine. What's up, my dude? He says, how's it going all? How's it going, dude? I don't know if I'm going to let Chris on the stream now. Help is on the way, dear. Like, you have to read it like an old lady. You got to. It's like, like, dude, I can't. Chris will be here as soon as possible, guys. Like I said, he's running a little behind. He felt really bad. He was beating himself up, and I'm like, it's all right, dude. Don't worry about it. I cannot wait either, Gio. It's long over.
Bro, I run behind every night, Chris.
All right. And then Mike felt bad for me tonight because I'm like, dude, Lane canceled. He's like, I will be there on time. So Mike's just the GOAT, dude. He made time.
I dumped the kids on my wife. I was
yeah,
like,
you got the superhero cape. I
gotta go.
Like you're flying through the house. That's what I imagine. I'm not reading Chris's other comment. Julio is in the house. What's up, Julio? Julio says, what's up, everyone? Not much, dude. Excited to be here with you guys. Excited to talk some figures. And yeah, I appreciate you for being here as always. Yes, Frank Dukes going live from Caustic Plastic in the next I don't know, 2 or 3 days, I think, towards the end of this week. Very excited for that. That's a day one pre-order, no question. And then, we're getting Chong Li, so got to have both of them, right? So I'm very, very excited for that line. Cannot wait. What a unique special figure. Everything Caustic does is unique and special. All I do is talk about how great they are, and I'll never stop. But yeah, thanks for being here, dude, once again, and I'm very, very excited for that as well. We'll definitely take a look at those photos. I did tell you this, guys, before. We won't be going live the 3rd week of April because Chris and I will be going on vacation together like all week, so no Hot Toys Hotline live that week. So hopefully next week we'll be able to take a look at all the photos for Frank Dukes, which I'm sure we will be able to. And I'll be very jealous because you guys will be, who are going to Celebration Japan, like Kaiju and some other of my friends, you guys will be in Celebration while I'm on vacation in Florida, so jealous of that for sure. Brick says the 2 goats. What is up, you guys? Brick, I actually just gave you a shout out earlier. I said keep an eye out on Brick's channel because he'll be dropping that review for the Spider-Punk. And I know you were insanely excited for that one and saddened by the news of the freaking June 2027 release date for the 3rd film. So, yeah, F in the chat for that for sure. But thank you so much for being here as always, Brick, my good friend and channel member. I appreciate your support and your friendship as always. Sal says, I'm always thinking that Mike is wearing a Giants hat and I get triggered, but glad it isn't. No, that's the F&F wannabe evil sneaker hat. I'm still waiting for like Steve to make like the OG evil sneaker hats.
Oh yeah, he's got like his artisan line. So that should be a limited edition.
And I better get a free one, dude, because I've been bullying him live on air about evil sneaker. He owes me a free one, dude. He's got to.
Bro, he charged me overpriced for this.
Crazy.
So
No
if you get a free one, I'm going to be it's not
crazy.
Right.
We got Jose Plus in the house. What's up, Jose? Jose says, I know it was you, Frodo. You broke my heart. If you know, you know. Well, if that is a quote from The Lord of the Rings, I do not know because I have not seen The Lord of the Rings films like that. But
it's a play on The Godfather.
Oh, okay.
It was Frodo. Yeah.
Oh, I see what he said. I get it. I have seen The Godfather. I didn't pick up on that. My mind immediately went to Frodo, and I'm like, well, I haven't seen Lord of the Rings, so.
Or Chris Cuomo, if you know, you know. Anyway, moving on.
Dude, it's all right. I wasn't even paying attention to your spell check error, so it's all good. It had the same delivery. Don't worry. What's up, Blue Tattoo? Great to see you, bro, as always. Love seeing you on streams as well, bro. Always awesome to see you popping in on panels and such, so. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Let's see who else we got. As always, guys, I'm scrolling through. Hopefully I don't miss anybody. Yeah, the Mrs. Doubtfire. Dude, come on now. Mrs. Doubtfire is so quotable. You got to here and there. By the way, what's up, Stuart? Stuart says, quick word theory. The reason the world's gone to crap was all because we were still mourning the Great Wall. I know, man. It's still so crazy to this day. It still really is so crazy to this day. Every time I see Aladdin and see the genie, it just reminds me of Robin Williams. And that's like one of my favorite roles of his. Obviously it's an animation and it doesn't even scratch the surface of what his talent was, but I just love it.
Major
I just
loss.
absolutely love it. Yeah.
By the way, I am not distracted, guys. I'm building a module case, so excuse me if I keep looking away, but That's what I'm
Sorry,
doing.
dude. You're good at multitasking. I think we'll let it slide. I miss Miami's Nemesis. I haven't seen you in a bit. Maybe you've been in the chat and I just haven't seen you, but thank you so much for being here, Miami. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. As always, guys, if I miss you, I do apologize. You guys know I always have the best intentions to read everybody's comments, and I know some people are like, just hurry up. I'll do my best. Let's see. We got Stuart. We got Christian. Of course, I cannot miss Christian Crosshair Cooper. What's up, Christian? Hope you're doing well, bro. As always, thank you so much for being here. I very much appreciate it. Always great to see you. We got OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars, or OG to me. One of the other GOAT Hotline hotties, one of the OG members, along with Mike as well. People might forget because, you know, Mike's not chatting during the stream because he's always here with us, but he's one of the original channel members too. And he's the one that came up with the hotties name and some of the tiers as well. So I owe it all to him. But OG says, hey, everyone, dropping the hotline emojis. What's up, my friend? I hope you're doing well. It's so funny because when I'm looking at it through StreamYard, I can't see which emojis they are, but I think the hotline emoji is me doing the box smell. I think that's what
I think so. It does suck. I wish it showed the graphic there.
I know, it's so annoying. It really is annoying. I think I got everybody. Hopefully. I hate missing people. And Kaju's right. 43 people in the chat and only 7 likes. Maybe he hasn't refreshed. I don't know because that happens to me sometimes. But if you haven't already, guys, please consider dropping a like on the stream. I would very much appreciate it. Love the name, by the way, Tron. I appreciate you for being here, bro. I love Tron. Absolutely love Tron. I cannot wait for the new film. And, yeah, Tron Legacy is my favorite. I don't know if that's sacrilege for some people because I know the original is a beloved. But I feel like the original, it's just, like, on the cusp of too corny because, like, at the time, obviously, like, the graphics and stuff weren't quite there to kind of portray what they really wanted to portray. And I feel like Tron Legacy was just, like, the perfect film to, like, tie it all in. Love Tron Legacy.
You have the bikes from that, right?
I do have the bike. I have the Sam Flynn with the light cycle. I have his dad as well. I have Jeff Bridges' character. So I'm just waiting for, hopefully we get the Jared Leto figure with that like all red, like the team red suit and everything. That's gonna be sick.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd love to see some characters return from Legacy in this new film. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm very optimistic for it. I will say that because I love Legacy, and it just sucks knowing that Daft Punk is no longer making music. So I have no hopes that they'll do another soundtrack.
Yeah, bummer.
Yeah, I thought of that the other day, and I was like, man, that's sad.
Yeah.
I see Yomo in the house, another channel member, a moderator, and a great friend. What's up, Yomo? Hope you're doing well, man? Bro. Always great to have you here. We got Ren the Collector in the house. What's up, Ren? Great to have you here, bro. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you being here. Big Dog Pan asks, what type of display are you building, Mike?
So I have behind me, I have eight drawer risers from Module Case, and then I'm putting 4 DF 120s on top of it because the drawers are only half the size of the Module Case, the 120. So you need 2 per case. So 8 drawers, 4 cases. This is taking a while, and I'm getting near the end. Just 4 more cases to go. Connect everything together, do the lighting, and I'm done.
That's sick, man. Nothing's more exciting than when you finish all that crap and you just see it ready to go and ready to move stuff into. That's gonna be the best moment.
Like Shane was saying, it's not about the journey. It's definitely the destination. It's no truer situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
These are horrible, and the
that's
weight.
A pain in the ass. I hate building stuff.
Dude. I will say, man, Brian makes an awesome product, dude. Like if you guys are on the fence, and I know they're not cheap, but it really does take your collection to the next level, you know, if you want to make that investment. So
yeah, for sure. Tron says Legacy is my favorite too, bro. And yeah, I mean, I love that soundtrack, dude. I still have intentions on buying. They've done a few limited vinyl releases, and I do collect like movie vinyls, like limited release movie vinyls. So that one's on my list because I absolutely love that soundtrack. It's so freaking good, man. I could just listen to it on repeat.
Mondo did one, I think.
I know, Mondo. I actually have a few Mondos. I have a couple Back to the Futures. My Grail Mondo set is that Back to the Future set with, it's got all the films, and they have a unique splatter pattern on each one and a booklet from each film. I have to have it. And it's got the plutonium case.
I have the Alien one, and it's fantastic.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. Stuart says Daft Punk's whole music for that film is another level. Outlands Part 2, I think, is just... I know, man. Yeah. Dude, like I said, it's a shame that they're not making music anymore because that gives me zero hope that they're going to return. But wouldn't that be crazy if that was their way to come back in just for one last project for the Tron film?
You never know, man. You never know.
Disney, they're good at throwing money at people. And look at Harrison Ford, dude. They
paid
him enough to be in Star Wars again.
Dude, I'd like to hear Trent Reznor get a crack at it maybe if they aren't up for it. cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I could see it. Eric, what's up, dude? Another channel member, a great friend, and a Star Wars addict. As you can see, because he says, yo, Star Wars celebration. I know, man. I'm jealous of everybody that's going. I'm very, very jealous. Very jealous. What's up, Rick Lindo? Rick says that Daredevil Hot Toy looks good except for his high waters. Yeah, I think that's probably just the design of the suit. I was actually talking to Jose about that earlier, and Jose had made a good point. Like, a lot of his live action suits haven't been the best, I guess you could say, put it in a nice way. But I do like this new suit. We're going to talk about it, but we're going to get right into it, guys. 20 minutes in. I appreciate each and every one of you because I know it gets tiring, but I have to say what's up to everybody because I love you guys and I appreciate you dedicating your time. Like I said, if I missed everybody, I certainly would say hi to you throughout the stream. And because there's only going to be 3 of us max this stream, you'll be able to read your comments and everything more closely, so it'll be fun. But, guys, we're going to get started with one that, honestly, if I'm being totally honest with you guys, I expected more people to talk smack about this one, and I was very, very pleasantly surprised at the reaction to this one, because generally speaking, it was very positive, and I'm glad because I think this deserves praise. I think this is sick. I really do. And a couple people had commented, like, this is the perfect exclusive because it doesn't make me feel like I missed out on something. It's like one of those things you either want it or you don't. And honestly, considering there's like I think with this one, it's like 1,000 or 1,500 units for Japan only, or 1,000 units for Japan only. And then there's an additional allotment of units of like 1,500 to 2,000 for everybody else. The one at Celebration Japan is literally just a special slip cover. That's it. So you're not really missing out on anything. Of course, because I'm a weirdo, I want that slip cover. And I'm working on talking to some people to try to get that. But, excuse me. That's I get it, yeah, because David Prowse, I get it, man. That was a good one. You get points for that one. It deserves Prowse. Rest in peace. But I don't know, guys. I think this is really cool. Again, I do like the fact that those who get really frustrated with these releases and missing out on them, this is one that's like more of a niche thing, and not everybody's going to want it. Also, I don't know if some of you guys peeped, but this is 100% a full nylon suit. So this is going to be the first release full nylon suit. It actually beat out the Battle Damage Vader, which also has nylon. And if you zoom in closely, it's like, you know, clear as day. You can see it's nylon. It's not that shitty pleather. It has like that raincoat material look to it. And I don't think it hurts the look at all. And obviously, with this, that's kind of hidden even more because you have that like blue and red pattern printed all over the suit and everything. But dude, this is sick. I love it. I am a sucker, and you know, Mike, you and I have talked about this before. You and I collectively, and I know some other people are like this, I'm a sucker for like limited variants that might be a little gaudy to some people, but I love it. I absolutely love it, dude. Like, you know, we use the example like the NECA Bare Blood Feral Predator, where it's like you could see he's clear, he's fully camouflaged, and he's coated in blood from the Bare Blood scene. And what's another good example? Oh, like, you know, Black Series, they do like the Force Ghost versions of all the figures. It's like stuff like that. Most people are like, oh, I'm good with just like the main canon film versions and those alternate, like, you know, chrome stormtroopers and stuff like that. People don't care about it. So I think those are the best way to not piss people off. Not saying that I'm against Galen Erso and stuff, because you guys know my stance on that. I love exclusive stuff regardless because it's just fun to me, and it kind of gives the hobby a bit of a chase. But I totally understand where people are coming from, where they're like, nah, I'm not a fan of that. The cape looks pretty interesting as well. It looks like it's fully wired all around the seams and everything.
But it drapes nicely, though.
It does, because you know me, I hate wired capes for the most part, because unless they're custom, because they never really turn out how you want them. But I'm liking how this looks, dude. Like you said, it drapes pretty naturally, being that it's a wired cape. I'm just curious to see what caliber of wire they're using. I hope it's not that shitty, like, bouncy wire that they use on some capes, because that's just awful. But yeah, dude, I'm really digging this, man. And another thing I really like is the base. I'll kind of show you the front of it here. You can see the nameplate where it kind of fades from red to blue. And they call this like the dueling effect version. For me, this more so symbolizes Anakin Skywalker and Vader as a whole of a character, like that pull between the dark and the light. We saw it in Kenobi, and you know, Mike and I were gushing about this way back when. That cinematic lighting where you see the blue light and then you see a glimpse of Anakin just for a second through that cracked helmet, and then he goes right back to who he really is at that time. And I love that. I love that about it. I know I'm kind of it's a toy, and I'm getting too deep about it, but truly, like, that's what I think of when I see this blue and red. And also, like, obviously, like, the cell shading, like, inspiration there. Everybody's gonna love that who's into those Mondo figures and into comic inspired stuff in general. I think people that, like Mike, who has like Star Wars comics and stuff like that, this is gonna look incredible with one of those in the back behind it. Just a really cool figure. I love it, man. I really do. I think this is awesome.
I do too, man. I'm happy to hear you so positive about it, because maybe it's just coincidence. Like some of the streams I've been watching, there's a lot of, I don't know about maybe not negativity, but just like meh, Whereas I think this, yeah, see what I mean? Yeah. And Moose, I totally like. I get that. This is not for everyone, which is why it's the perfect, like you said, Connor, release for an exclusive. But you also have to remember too, like, what do you think the percentage of people walking through Celebration? What do you think the percentage are that collect Hot Toys? I mean, 1%, 2% that collect it the way everybody watching tonight collects. So, I think this is a great piece for somebody who's just walking by and they go, that would look really cool on my desk,
And it's nylon, so if it's one of those people who's never collected a hot toy, they don't have to have that preconceived, like, oh, I better be careful because it's pleather. You know what I mean? That's why I love it. There's just so many things to like about it.
I think it's really, and the execution could have been poor. You know what I mean? Like, the idea is great, but they could have done it poorly. I don't think they did. I love that they added it to the suit too, because they could have just maybe tried to get away without putting it on the nylon, but the fact that it's all over the legs and the arms really sells the look. And I like I just love, see right there on his like cod piece right there.
Love
like
that. Yeah.
Like there's just
the chest box even has it all over it too.
Yep,
the belt. It looks great, man.
I think it's really, really cool, man. And as far as like
that helmet
variants and stuff, in the 7-inch world, it's way easier to do. Yeah. Because you're talking $32, $50 maybe. It's tough when you're talking $250, $300. But I still love pieces like this. I love that side of the helmet there. This is beautiful. And you can pick this up if you're lucky to get it and just like display it somewhere else. It's the perfect piece to display somewhere else. Not in your collection room maybe or whatever. I think it's beautiful.
I agree. And it's like you said, it would have been very easy to make this look gaudy and maybe it is a little bit gaudy, but you can make it like you said, it was very easy to like make this look shitty and make it look as cheap as possible. But I feel like it's executed very well, and they did the best they could to kind of show that concept that they were going for without making it look totally like not worth the price tag that they're going to assign to it, which I believe it is around $300 US, which is, to be expected for Vader. And it's an exclusive piece that's releasing instantly, so people are they're gonna pay it if they want it, you know what I mean? And I do think this is one of those pieces that will attract people that don't collect Hot Toys just because it's unique and it's cool. And you know this more than I would, but I when you're at a con and all that stuff's in front of you, you're in money spending mode. You buy stuff that you didn't think you were gonna buy because it's there.
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That exclusive sticker, especially one that says not just exclusive or Hot Toys exclusive, but like says the event that you're at. I mean, that's a great souvenir. So
I agree.
Oh, good to know, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Because there's so many. I usually have my numbers prepared. I was not prepared this stream, but all of them have different numbers assigned to them. But yeah, so 1,000 of that exclusive, like I said, is just the slip cover, and then 2,000 everywhere else. So again, if you want this one, I feel like the majority of the people are going to be able to get it very easily. And TK, who's been commenting, released the Artisan Anakin for months and months and months and months. He finally got his Artisan Anakin release. So
nice.
Thank you for being here, TK. Thank you for being a channel member as always, and I appreciate you. And Adam kind of echoes what we're saying. He said exactly, this is a perfect exclusive. Celebration attendees can get it, and collectors elsewhere can, unlike other exclusives. Yeah, and I know, Adam, you were a bit sour about the Galen, understandably so, because it's an important figure to you. And yeah, this one kind of checks all those boxes. It's not for everybody. I know some people are going to make jokes about it. Yeah, real or cake. It could definitely fit under that category of real or cake for sure. Speaking of F&F, Steve, I mentioned earlier, where's my Evil Sneaker limited edition free friend edition hat? Like, where's it? Like, I feel like I deserve one whenever that comes out. Like, but thank you so much for being here, Steve. Steve is a channel member and a great friend, all around great guy. I appreciate you for being here as always, my dude. Yes, the red, white, and blue Vader, America. That's what it is. It's the America variant. Exactly. Yeah, and that was kind of what Mike was saying. People who don't necessarily collect these figures might see this, and it's very eye catching. You know, it gets you to come. I'm sure it's going to be on display, and they're going to go, and people are just going to be attracted to it. They're like, oh shit,
There's
that's
a lot
Darth
of
Vader.
people.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
people still collect pop. They collect. This is very pop art, you know, and yeah, it's appealing to a lot of people.
Yeah. Steve, I wish I had the GIF prepared, the Shrek GIF. That's me. I'm the Shrek GIF right now. I appreciate you, bro. You know I'll wear the shit up. I'll wear it on my stream. I'll promote you, the former evil sneaker on my stream, dude. Who cares?
I'm the first person in the world to have this hat, by the way. I had it before Steve, so.
And Steve wore it all day. Mike
Bragging
specifically
rights.
wanted it with the sweat in it. So.
Yeah, well, Steve stretched it out. That's why it's so big on me. Steve's
Damn.
got a chrome dome, man.
My head's like pushing big. It's like it's almost there, but it's not. Comic inspired dueling effect pack. Like I said, I would have preferred if they said duality effect, because that's like,
oh yeah,
that's to me that's what it symbolizes for me. But yeah, I think you summed it up really well, Mike. I think the way that they've done this, they've executed it really as good as they possibly could. USB powered lightsaber. That's one thing I was worried about. And here's one thing I actually did not notice. I didn't notice they put this like red effect on the tip of the saber. That's actually sick. I never actually noticed
dude,
that.
that is awesome. And wait, it's actually the base itself. I know that the placard,
right?
I didn't notice the base had red and blue on it too.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I love it, man. Like I said, this is not for everybody, but it's for me.
It's for me too, dude.
Yeah, this is sick, man. And like I said, I'm very glad that it's just like a sleeve. I know Chris said earlier, like, that's dumb just to make it a sleeve. That's kind of a good thing, though. Like, you just get a sleeve, and if you get it at Celebration Japan, you get something for being there, you know? Yeah. And that version obviously will sell for a little bit more because it's a special version. But this is awesome. I'm all for it, man. You know, I'm going to buy all Vaders regardless. If they did like a half-naked Vader and he just had a helmet on, I'd buy it, you know what I mean? But,
yeah.
But this is sick, and I was really happy to see this. And it's something different, you know? And like I said, I'm glad it's not for everybody. Some of y'all that are more restrictive with Star Wars, save yourself some money, and then you don't get stressed out if you're not getting a Celebration exclusive that's like hard to get, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
This is Vader after one hit of my dude. I know, man. I get it, man. I get it. But yeah, really, really cool. We'll jump to another figure that is maybe I don't know how this was received, honestly. I haven't heard too many people say they're getting it. I feel a little betrayed on this one, because where the freak is the pram? I wanted that so bad. I was ready to let go of my Sideshow Legacy Effects, you know, statue of Grogu before he was even Grogu, before we knew his name. And when they teased this, I guess it was about a year ago, he was in a pram. And I'm like, dude, that's freaking sick. I remember we talked about it on the stream. I'm like, I would love to put that in the corner of my room. And if I'm greeted by this cute little guy in the pram every day, I'd be so happy. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, they've gone back with the lazier option and given us Grogu in the satchel off of the speeder bike. I will say, credit to Hot Toys, they have improved the look of their Grogu, because the original one to me was, I mean, and this is still not as accurate as the Sideshow one, but heaps better than the original. Number one, you know, the terrible mouth was an awesome idea, but in practice, it had a lot of issues. I think I said terrible mouth. The openable mouth was a great idea in concept, but it was tearing on people at the chin. A lot of people had issues with it tearing. I'm glad they got rid of that. I'm a fan of the expression on this one. Also, that stupid idea for the swap out ears, that was awful. So glad they've done away with that, because those ear seams totally ruin the look of the head. This head looks much more proportional. I love the expression on it. You know, Grogu just has that like innocent expression on his face most of the time. This is all you need, you know, this is all you need for him. So I think this looks awesome. I will say the hands and feet, though they have shrunk them a little bit, they are still a bit out of scale. They're a bit too big. Again, this is much better looking, though, than the original one. So if you guys have the original one and you're looking to upgrade, I certainly would agree with that. I think this is definitely an upgrade over the original one. It's just tough, because how do you display them in the satchel? Like, if you're a cosplayer, this is freaking awesome. I will say that. If you're a cosplayer, like, if you already cosplay any character from The Mandalorian that would make sense carrying Grogu around, this is great. It really is. Because I've already seen, and I'm sure you've seen it, Mike, probably at cons you've gone to, people putting the Sideshow on, pulling it off the base and putting that in a satchel or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so this is a great idea for cosplayers, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You think so? Is that the consensus, that the hands are oversized? Maybe I can see that. Is that what
Like I said, if I'm going off because my piece is sculpted, it's a sideshow one, so it's done by Legacy Effects, who actually made the puppets for the show.
Okay.
The hands, at least in these photos, still look a decent amount smaller than these. These are definitely improved, though. So I don't think they're as nearly as bad as the original, because the original, they were super out of scale. But I think this is much, much closer.
Yeah.
It's so close that I think it wouldn't be worrisome for me. If I decided I wanted a posable Grogu, I would be fine letting go of this one. But again, for me, my biggest complaint is that they got rid of the pram. I really wanted that freaking pram. It probably would have been way more expensive, because I actually think this guy is supposed to come in. I was talking to my buddy from Hong Kong, and he said this is supposed to be like the same price as the Vader and the Stormtrooper, so around 300 USD, which is pretty damn good for a 1-to-1 scale Grogu that's posable. That's pretty damn good. And like I said, if you're a cosplayer, I'm sure a lot of them saw this and were like, dude, this is perfect. This is exactly what I've been looking for. So, you know, I probably won't be getting this one. Yes, it's cute. Don't get me wrong. It really is with the bag. I like the idea, but who's going to display it in the bag, you know, unless you're a cosplayer? I will say this is like swag to the max. Like you show up to a date, like a Tinder date, and you've got Grogu slung over your shoulder. I mean,
I don't know, man. Maybe I've been married a long time, but yeah, I guess.
I feel like it might be out of the game after that one.
Maybe I don't know how it works anymore, but yeah, sure.
Rick asks, will this Vader go to the bargain bin? Rick, that's a very good question. I don't know if I can really say one way or the other. It's such a unique thing. My mind tells me not a lot of people are going to want it, and I don't think it's going to be hard to get from that 2,000 allotment. So perhaps, yeah. I think if anything, it'll sell out, and then people will try to resell it, and then it'll get saturated, so the price won't be too high on it. It'll probably hover around retail for a while. Obviously, the Japan edition might be a little bit different, but that's my thought on it. Yeah, so Chris is kind of echoing the same thing as me. He held out on the sideshow version because he wanted the pram, and now he's back to wanting the sideshow. Because again, if you're going for the most accurate, you literally cannot beat the sideshow one, because it's made by Legacy Effects, who made the puppets for the show. So, let's see. Yeah, Pimpazoid saying he's sticking with the sideshow version. I don't know, Phil. I don't know, dude. Like I said, I will say, I don't want to completely crap on it. They definitely made the hands and feet smaller, because in the original one, they're like comically large. But at the time, it was like, you didn't have many options. So I guess like, whatever they had access to when they were making it, maybe they didn't have the correct dimensions from the licensor. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, I would say certainly in overseas, like in Japan and Hong Kong, because all of these exclusives for the most part, it seems like Kaiju's like, y'all need these? They're just sitting around at Toy Sapien, you know what I mean? Like I said. And the Imposter Joker here, at least on eBay, still sells for like slightly over retail, I think. So at least you can get your money back. But yeah, I would definitely see that sitting overseas for sure. What's up, Hot Toy Collector? Sorry, Mike, and then we'll let you say.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Hot Toys Collector says, good morning and evening from Singapore. Well, thank you so much for being here, especially making the time for us in such a crazy time zone difference. But I appreciate you for being here. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say, like, it's a shame that in universe that bag isn't more interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really scream Star Wars at all to me. It's just like a regular bag. And I'm sure it's screen accurate to the show, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because you'd be in charge for that bag, right? So it's like, it would be nice if there was an option like just him or him and the bag.
That's a good point.
Like 2 SKUs for him.
I wonder how much that bag of a cost difference it really was for them. Probably like pennies to the dollar.
Yeah, that's true too.
But for them, that would be like $30, $40. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they're not passing the savings on to us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, guys, we're gonna move on from the Grogu. Something that really made me happy was seeing this final product for Ahsoka and seeing how freaking good she turned out, because she turned out so freaking good, guys. And I had to pull up 16Lover's Instagram, because he did a great job at covering this figure, like the final product, and like comparing it to the previous version, and just kind of giving us an idea of what it looks like. And something very surprising that Hot Toys did on this one, you have metal elbow joints and you have metal ankle joints on this one, which is amazing to see, because if you guys aren't familiar, the original Rosario Dawson Ahsoka actually had really bad issues with the elbows breaking on people. Like people had to get replacements from Sideshow left and right. So I'm so glad that Hot Toys was like, okay, we're basically making a retuned, retailored version of this similar figure. Let's fix this issue so we don't have to deal with sending all these new bodies over to Sideshow. So it made sense for them to obviously go through and improve this, not only for covering their ass, but covering collectors who are spending their hard-earned money on these figures. So I'm overjoyed to see that. And also the final product looks freaking amazing, dude. This head sculpt turned out so good. I think it looks just like Rosario, and I will try to pull up 1/6 Lovers shots of her. Even this very easy to judge head sculpt because it's got gritting teeth, I had to go back and watch some of the scenes from while she was wearing this outfit, and it is close to the show. It really is. It's just a goofy expression, but it is close to the show. It looks like her. She just had a really like grimacing smile, and like when she was fighting, it's very interesting how close it is. But
yeah, she did make that face.
She really did. Like I looked at it again. I'm like, I think this is accurate, but let me go back and watch it. Dude, it looks great, man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mike, they are single jointed elbows, so that is kind of the trade off of this whole, I guess, semi seamless, which I'm fine with. I feel like you can get. Ahsoka has that signature pose, and you kind of see her doing it right here, where she has the lightsabers like kind of tucked up behind her. And I feel like a lot of people go for that, and you can kind of hide the crimes of having single jointed elbows by doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at the muscle definition and everything. It really sells that arm. It's really nice.
Yeah, and like I don't know if there's any shots in these photos from Hot Toys, but I do know that 1/6 Lovers took some video of it. The shot of her from the back where you can see the seamless body over her shoulders and everything. It looks really, really nice and very realistic. It really does. But dude,
yeah, there you go. Like,
I love the base too. I forgot about the base, how it had that little piece of the wall attached to it. You can remove it and put it on how you like. The aesthetic is just so clean, man. Like the all white and gray is just very, very clean, and like the matching base and everything. There's a shot of her with Sabine. Sabine looks awesome in person, by the way. I got my Sabine not long ago. She's freaking incredible.
Still delayed, but I can't wait to get her.
She's so good, man.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that figure. Everything that comes with her is awesome. The Ezra hologram made me sad because I'm like, damn, I wish we had a figure of that.
I want that figure.
I know. Speaking of, by the way, what's up, Toy Cartel? Toy Cartel said the bag should have some weathering.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree. Because, you know, they're in the sand and he's getting tossed around. And, yeah, absolutely. And he's on the back of the speeder while it's kicking up sand all over the place. I totally agree.
Yeah, give it something, you know, give it some life, you know.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Dude, see, this is what makes this line awesome. Because this Balin is freaking awesome.
Yep.
Shin's going to be awesome. Merrick's going to be awesome. When she was released, Mike, the first thing I said, I was like, dude, they cannot miss with this line. Everything so far, even the freaking Night Troopers and stuff have been awesome. Like, they're just really nice, man.
I was really, really excited for this line. And I was lucky, too, because I liked the show. And, you know, I know a lot of people didn't like the show.
I loved the show. Absolutely loved it.
I loved it, too.
Yeah. Another person said bag might need some weathering. I totally agree. Totally agree. Kaju says 58 people watching and 30 likes. I find your lack of support disturbing.
I might be watching on my phone, actually. I need to hit the like button. I need to hit the like button on my phone.
Yeah, really, guys, it's not 58 people. It's like 3 people, and then Mike just has a bunch of devices all around his house.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. That's how we inflate our numbers.
We're massaging the algorithm.
Right, exactly. We're conditioning it to think that there's this many people watching. Big Dog Pound. There's actually a lot of delay emails that went out recently, and which is interesting because a friend of mine who lives overseas actually shared an email with me from a Hong Kong retailer that went out to their customers saying all these figures are going to be delayed. And so far, we've like a week later after he sent me that, all of these emails started getting sent from Sideshow. So there's a lot of stuff being delayed. Chris says the Deadpool, Battle Damage Deadpool has new ankle pegs too. Not sure if they're better yet, though, from what I've heard. They're just different looking, a different color. They might be metal, too. I don't know. I just know the Ahsoka ones have, it's like half of it is a metal, like a whole portion of it is metal, a part of the peg, which is really cool.
That is cool. It would be nice to see more of that going forward.
I know. That's kind of, I was talking to Sal with that like Sal and I were talking about, like, will they be consistent with this? You know, you just got to wait and see, you know.
Yeah. Like
Rick
my
says,
Deadpool foot fell off right out of the box. So.
See, I had no issues, but I was also very cautious, and I'm not going to lie, I have an extra pair of feet with the pegs just sitting on standby in case it happens to me. I saw him pop them on Toy Anxiety, and I sniped them so fast, and I'm like, dude, I'll be devastated. Rick says that Ahsoka looks good, better than the last, absolutely better than the last one. Hopefully her white and blue hair doesn't start coming off like the Artisan Hot Toys figure. Well, to be fair, this is that's probably a joke, but this is definitely not rooted hair, but it is awesome and it is posable. And honestly, in person with the previous two Ahsokas, it's a nice piece that sits on her head, her hair piece. And I saw someone mention they wish they made the little crown metal piece on her head removable. Nah, that was a creepy scene.
I'm good.
Yeah, it was too creepy. I didn't like that.
Bro, just a shout out to the Clone Wars Ahsoka, because in the side-by-side, like, I know not everybody loves that figure. She still holds up, I think, man, for what she is.
Yeah.
I like her. But
yeah. You know, the Clone Wars one, even when, and you know, again, shout out to 1/6 lovers, he was taking photos with all of the Ahsokas together, and they look great next to each other. Like the Clone Wars one, you get her for dirt cheap. She still looks amazing. They did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, rest in peace, Ray Stevenson. That figure's incredible. I just love everything about that figure. The weathering on the armor, on the chest plate, the little ring, the emerald ring on his hand is so badass. I love it, man. His lightsaber hilt, which is like inspired by that OG Vader hilt in the poster. I just love everything about that figure. It's such a great figure and such a great tribute to Ray Stevenson with that unfortunate passing of his unfortunate passing. It's just crazy to think about the timing. But now they got Rory McCann who played the Hounds, which is I think an awesome. If you're gonna recast him, I love him. I thought he was easily one of the best characters in Game of Thrones by far. I love the Hound. He was just hilarious.
Great.
Yeah. And I agree. Zombie absolutely one of the a huge step in the right direction. A huge step up from the original for sure, especially with those metal joints. Very very good to see. Pedro says one of Ahsoka's signature poses are arms crossed. Hot Toys be like I know. I think they kind of had a design decision to make, and if you think about it, you can't have a plastic arm fold down on a silicone arm because you're just asking for it to be damaged. So they probably had a limitation with that joint design. So I think I'd rather have metal joints and that semi-seamless look with I guess fully seamless to us, but you get what I'm saying. Like that hybrid design, I'd rather have that than visible joints because I think that's like the best like middle ground. You know what I mean? Jose said, I considered this to do a head swap with the original, but apparently, yeah, it's not, man. I asked 1/6 lovers, and then he ended up taking a video and kind of showing. You can get the new Ahsoka faceplate to fit in the old one, but there's like a gap from the side. So if it doesn't bother you from the front, you can kind of make it work, but there is a gap. There's a bit of a gap, so that's a bit unfortunate. But I feel like they slightly reshaped her hairpiece and her face, so that's why it doesn't completely line up.
I want to know if you can get the old face in this new head. Just because I like that old face because it doesn't look like Rosario, and that's no offense to her, but I want it to look more generic Rebels.
That's fair. Yeah, I have them both. I still love that original figure. I love that outfit, like that like samurai inspired outfit that she has. I think is super badass. But this one, I think as a complete package is my favorite. This is awesome, dude.
I agree.
Super clean. Great looking head sculpts. Just you couldn't ask for more. And Ahsoka is such a special character. I said this in the Hot Toys Hotline group chat the other day, but like this is the best gift that Filoni ever gave us was Ahsoka Tano as a character. She's just such an amazing multi-dimensional character.
And we went on a journey with her as an audience because she was not liked.
Right.
We came to know her, and she came to prove herself as a character, and everyone fell in love with her.
And she learned from the GOAT, Anakin Skywalker, and she took a lot of those cues and then kind of like put her own spin on things, and she's just an amazing character. So we got a question for you, Mike, from 1/6 Star Wars Pimpazoid. He says, curious how long did it take Mike to get his Maju cases? Wait time still sucks on Maju cases.
Oh, man. I would say like a year and a half. Yeah, year and a half.
Gotcha. Oh, so Jose, you mean like the entire thing with the hairpiece and everything. Gotcha. The Leku, like whole swap. That I did not ask, but I imagine, it probably does line up differently. Let's see. Patriot said, "Am I the only one who wants Ahsoka in this?" Dude, so there's actually a 3.75 figure that came out years ago, because they did a lot of random obscure, like they did like Anakin and Obi-Wan in the diving suits and stuff, like just a lot of really obscure stuff. But yeah, there's a figure of her that actually sells for a decent amount in the 3.75 scale, because they've never done another one of her. And yeah, that's a really cool idea, actually.
Actually, I want to amend my answer. It was under a year and a half. It was like 13 months. So
gotcha, 13 months. Okay. We got Jenna Talia in the chat. What's up, Jenna? Jenna says, "Hey everyone, a long time no chat. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for
What's
being
up,
here,
Jenna?
as always." Let's see. So I got some shots here. Dude, I hate Instagram because it doesn't allow you to blow up like the video, so it kind of looks stupid. So I'm like, should I even show it because it's so freaking small? Probably not. Probably not. I'm not gonna show it, guys. It just looks stupid. Oh, maybe I will. I'll do these. I won't do the video, but just to give my boy a shout out and show some awesome photos here of Ahsoka. These are in hand shots, so taken by 1/6 lovers. She actually looks really awesome with the hood. I feel like this hood kind of looks better than the Clone Wars version. I kind of like how it looks personally. And maybe it's because they reshaped her Leku a little bit, and I kind of like that.
Oh, it's so much better. I mean, the Leku, I'm so happy they did that. I'm like, they threw out continuity from show to show, and I don't care. It was it was the right move to do.
Yeah. So I lied. I kind of did pull up the video here, but you could see, like, even from far back here, the difference in likeness is actually insane between the two. Let's see. I think he has. Let me see what else he has on Ahsoka. Just a size comparison.
Oh yeah, so that was the clip I was talking about, where it's just cool to see the other Ahsokas next to her like that.
And I'll show you guys this real quick, just so you can get a peep at the metal joints, because I think he does show it in this video.
Yeah, he does. No, he does show it. I was gonna say, did they make the sabers a different size? Real quick, it looked like they did, but that'd be interesting. Maybe they changed them.
I'm not sure about that. We'll have to peep that and see. I know, dude. The sideshow one is freaking awful. The fact that they painted her skin on the side of the pants was such a bullshit move from side. That made me so mad, dude.
I was so excited for that figure.
Me
that
too.
Whole line.
That's why I got the Ahsoka, the young Ahsoka from this show, because I know it's going to be at least accurate to the show.
Yoda was the only winner, in my opinion, from that line.
I think it was Cad Bane and Yoda. That's
sorry, Cad Bane too. Cad
Bane and Yoda. Yoda was definitely the only winner before Cad Bane, because he's the only one that looks like actually accurate to the show and actually looks pretty nice.
Dude, see this sculpt right here? It's all about the detail of the paint on her teeth. Because if it's sloppy at all on that lip or gum line,
goofy as shit. It looks like some Halloween teeth or something.
Yeah, if they nail that though, you can get away with it.
Yeah. I agree. No, I totally agree. I don't know if this video he shows the elbows, because I remember he sent me a picture later of it, like he DM'd it to me. But I know he shows the ankle. Dude, I know the outfit, the material looks freaking
the beads,
fantastic.
all the details, dude. Look at the back, man. That's just like.
And see, that's how you do a diamond cut when you're showing her skin through a diamond cut, like the pants on the sideshow version. That's what it's supposed to look like. You're supposed to see the skin through it. Here it is right here, guys. Freaking hybrid metal pegs. I mean,
she's a cyborg.
Oh, so he does show it in here. Okay. Yeah, right. She has a cyborg. But man, beautiful, beautiful figure. Great job by Hot Toys. I'm very, very happy with this.
This is why you buy Hot Toys right here. Like, this is how you sell a figure to somebody. If you're like, oh, what are those things you collect? And you show them that. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Troopers. But
I'm pulling this up, by the way, to see the hilts, like you mentioned.
When people see a figure like this, they really get it.
Exactly. And again, when you see these two next to each other, it's a night and day difference, dude. I just think she looks way better.
It could just be the angle of
I don't know. Dude, they do. I mean, like you said, it could be the angle. I'll have to ask 1/6 lovers later. But in this angle, it does look like the one on the Ahsoka, the white, is smaller.
Yeah.
Which is not to be confused, because she does come with two different hilts, and in canon, one is smaller, but it's way smaller than that. It's like a little nub. I actually have like 1-to-1 scale version of these hilts.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, guys, Ahsoka looks amazing. I want to take a look at a couple more of the blogger photos before we move on, because I'm just absolutely juiced over this. Like, dude, that sculpt is phenomenal.
The sculpt is so good. You know what's great is, like, how many poses does he have with straight arms? And she looks fantastic. Because you're right. Like, she does do the folded arms a lot, but when she doesn't have her arms folded, they're almost always straight. So.
And even this pose right here, totally doable without bending the arms barely at all. Like, that looks a little goofy to me, but this one's cool. I don't mind that one at all. Yeah, dude, great photos, by the way. Like, whoever did these, like,
These are the way you do. I mean, these are blogger. Like, these just get you so pumped for them.
I know. And you know, she does have orange skin, so I guess it's a bit easier to capture the details because you're not having to, like, you know, get close up. But still, it looks great. It
Dude,
really
I
does.
want that environment, man. How great would that be?
Jenna, in the show, I think this is pretty accurate. In the cartoon, yeah, she is a bit more orange, but I feel like in the show, because, you know, this was actually Rosario painted orange, I feel like it's a bit closer to the show. Yeah.
Maybe they screen tested it and it just looked like too,
Yeah.
I don't know, too out of place. Like on screen.
Yeah, they definitely altered her shade of orange a little bit. Like maybe it looked weird on, like you said, maybe they tested it and they're like, damn, this looks kind of a little weird, you know?
Yeah. But I'm curious to go back. It's been a while since I've seen the show, but she could be right. I just haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah. Sal says, I love this, but I don't. But Sal, you don't want another one, but do you need another one?
It's not about what you want, Sal.
It's what you need. I know, Big Doll Pen, it makes it look like a cosplayer versus Rosario Dawson. It really does. It's a huge difference. Yeah, I love the stand. I love that little piece that attaches on the stand. It's so clean. Love it. Zombie said she was kind of overshadowed by Anakin, which is a shame because this looks pretty perfect. Are you talking about in general or in this show she was overshadowed by Anakin? Because I don't know. I personally really loved the World Between Worlds scene in the Ahsoka show because those are some of the best scenes in Rebels too. Like, obviously, you know, if you haven't seen Rebels, you know, Ezra has this thought of maybe I could save Kanan, and he could see that whole death scene playing out again. And he's like, I want to save him. And he figures that he can't. I get what you're saying. Gotcha. But guys, yeah, we're going to move on from Ahsoka. Beautiful in this shot right here, World Between Worlds. I would love to have, if I had the space for it, like a backdrop, like, or maybe like a clear acrylic piece with that etched in it.
Yeah.
So sick, man.
Dude, I wish they would just drop the rectangular bases forever. Just give us this little environment and we're good.
And make it removable like they did here. So for people that don't want to use that, it's perfect. Like, I don't need a full-on, like, pile of wreckage where they can barely stand. You know, we were talking about that last stream. I don't need that shit. I'm tired of that. This is what I like. Clean, simple. Love the new bases they've done for, like, the modern suit Batman and the Flash, like that light up base, like this shape right here. Love it. It looks great. It's very, very clean looking. Even though they don't have the metal nameplates, it still looks elegant and nice to me. So, yeah.
I just got that modern suit Batman, by the way. I haven't opened it yet. Just got it today. Super excited for that one.
It's great. The cape, to me, sucks balls. The main cape, at least.
I have one on order.
Right, yeah, perfect. Because I know, knowing you're gonna see it and me be like, yeah, this cape's awful. I didn't like the cape. I actually was like, dude, this figure's so good. I need to swap this cape right now because it's bothering the crap out of me.
Yeah.
This is the one people are calling the Diddy Trooper. People crack me up on Facebook. This is
I hadn't seen that name, but
this is what some people are calling the Diddy Trooper. I love this. I'm gonna start by saying this right now. I love it. Absolutely, Big Doll Pound. Never sell yourself short in selling an older version of something because there's always going to be somebody out there. Perfect example. Chris and I both sold our Part 2 DeLoreans after the Blitzway went up for pre-order, the Hot Toys version. So there's always opportunity to sell something. People are willing to shell out the money for it as long as they're paying less than what the new one's going to be. That's really the kicker. You know, if I'm thinking of their mind frame, like with the DeLorean, I'm not paying $1,000 for the Hot Toys Part 2 DeLorean when I can pay $1,000 for the Blitzway. I'm expecting a discount. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So absolutely, you'll be able to let it go. And also, it's a completely different look. Some people might prefer that look over the Ahsoka the white look. So you have that going for you as well.
Especially in this market, a lot of people are like, I'm not going to buy new. I'll just hunt some older versions of stuff.
Exactly. Sal said that's actually pretty hilarious. The Arizona Trooper, I could see it. Like on the green tea Arizona. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Blue Tattoo said, maybe it's the lighting, but the prototype made it look kind of like natural skin, a little darker orange color. The final kind of looks like an orange toy, kind of a downgrade. Yeah, I mean, me personally, I don't share that opinion, but maybe I'd have to go back and revisit it because I just remember the Ahsoka skin tone being lighter in the show. You know, I'd have to revisit. I'm not saying it's wrong by any means, but just in my head, that's what I see. Oh, dude, it's awful. Probably one of the worst capes for me that they've done in a while for Batman figures. I hate it. Nothing's going to top the Batman Begins cape. That cape is disgustingly bad. Like, it's to me, it's unusable. It just makes the figure look so awful.
Dude, it's terrible. I just hate the collar on the modern suit one. So
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's weird too.
The stitching was horrible on that.
Yeah, that's weird too. And I get they had to do that to kind of make it as accurate as they could for the unmasked look, but I'm not using that unmasked look, so I don't want that collar.
See, I plan on using it, and it's one thing that he's got that bib, but the way the stitching on it is, it's so unspecific and kind of sloppy. So I wanted that fixed.
I just hate the cape. I'm not. I've told you guys this many times. I'm very picky when it comes to wired capes because I just prefer drape capes. I love that like gothic look, especially for Batman. Like the Batman Begins figure. If you put him on a riser, get him a little bit height off the ground, and have that cape because it's a long ass cape.
Yeah.
Have it draping down past his feet. That's the look you want for Batman Begins, dude. Like you want that gothic look for him. So
that's what I have. Yeah, you pretty much cover 80% of the suit, but.
Exactly.
It's all right. Looks good.
It looks so good. the Diddy Party Trooper.
I love that.
Geisha Trooper. So the interesting thing about this one, it's a little bit different from the Vader. The Celebration version has a special box, but also to get that that top, this jacket as they're calling it, you have to get the Celebration version. So I was like, dude, that kind of, I have to get the Celebration version. Or I'm not getting it at all because I want that top. That's what makes it like even more unique to me is having that jacket on. I really like that look personally. So, yeah, I want the Diddy version, dude. If I want the Diddy version, I got to get the Celebration. By the way, the box is gorgeous.
It's cool.
I'm very jealous of those that have the porcelain trooper because I've always wanted that China trooper, and now I'm like, fuck, man. Like,
man, I remember when that was available, and I was like hovering over it, and I just didn't do it.
I never cared about it until years later, and I've wanted it for a long time, and then like, dude, I would love to see this. Love to see this next to the China Trooper. It's going to look freaking amazing, and maybe I'll start hunting it down now because they're not going to redo that one. Hayori, I know you're going to correct me, Kaju. Hayori. I saw some other people calling it a Komodo. Or kimono. I don't think longer. I was about to say this isn't a kimono, right? This is way too short to be a kimono, right?
I'm not the most versed in Japanese culture, but I think so, yeah.
Because my first reaction was like, I don't think this is a kimono, and I looked up what a kimono was considered, and it did look longer to me. So I'm like, I'll just call it a jacket, because Hot Toys says Hayori jacket.
Yeah, Kaiju, correct us. Let us know,
please. Dude, dude, the box is amazing. The box is beautiful. I just love that aesthetic. It's just very clean looking, and the backdrop is sick. And this is a really special piece for those going there because it has Star Wars Celebration 2025. Like, it reminds you of that trip that you went on that you probably spent a crap ton of money to go to, and like you had a good time at and have memories at. This is great for that. And I agree so far. I think I agree with Kaiju so far. Like in terms of like a commemorative piece for going to this convention. Absolutely. I think this
I was literally just going to say that. Like, of the three so far.
And also, it's special because this is in Japan and this has the cultural relevance. I think that's really cool. That's a really cool like nod to it being in Japan. I think that's awesome.
Like if you had like a baseball jersey on or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of the American equivalent.
Yeah, right. This is crazy. The Trooper in the Death Star massage parlor.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it certainly is very novelty, but I have no doubts that this is going to sell out very quickly because, again, like the cultural relevance alone and then, like, you know, it being specific to Celebration, having that backdrop and everything, people are going to want this. It's just cool.
The fact that it's in Japan,
Yeah, it's really freaking cool. The One Night Stand Trooper. See, and Kaju's basically kind of echoing what we were saying. He said the Japanese want this figure up. But yeah, this is going to sell very easily. This is a great idea for an exclusive. Again, a great way to commemorate it being in Japan. And like Mike said, like how cool would that be if like they did a Trooper with like, you know, whatever city it was in, they did a baseball jersey or football jersey. Like they're not going to do that, but it's like the same concept, you know, a little like cultural taste there. Chris, I told you I'd let you make it for Anakin, and he owes Big Dog Pound for sure. Damn, bro's on a Windows 95 machine right now. That's crazy.
It'll take a little bit. It'll be all right. Just give me just a second, all right, people. I had to run here. Had to take my speeder here. Then I had to fly.
Chris, you look like the Artisan Anakin final production photos. That's what you look like right now.
I was just about to say, did you see that Anakin, though? We're going to talk about it later, but did you see it? Anyways, I am Chris Corner, the president of Collecting Madness, the one that took all the toys and made them pay. I am the Hot Toys wheeling, dealing, UPS truck driving, Hot Toys delivering, son of a gun, youngling slayer slashing. Woo!
I love it.
I love that when Chris joined too, we hit 69 viewers, the best number ever. Chris, I'm glad you made it
here,
with plenty of topics to spare.
Yeah, dude.
I told you, dude. I'm like, I got you, bro. It's Mike and I are chilling. We're having fun with the chat. Woo! Yeah, we got to drop some more woos in the chat. Kaiju said, Sakura, it has great symbolic meaning to Japan. This is perfect for the market. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Totally agree. I love this. And I know it's not going to be for everybody. And I do think the jokes are hilarious, but I love it.
This would be my pickup. If I was in Japan and I wanted to come home with, any souvenir, this would be it. Because it's everything.
That's exactly what I told Connor.
Yeah, dude. Because,
I was surprised to hear Chris liked it so much, too, because him and I were kind of chatting about it, too. Sorry to cut you off, Mike.
No, just like my own personal interest in the culture, but the fact that I would have been there in Japan and I'm coming home with something that references that, and it's Star Wars, which is, besides my family, like the main love of my life. I mean, this is like the perfect piece. Yeah. And I almost feel like because I'm not there, I'm not even going to bother to get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I understand why people who aren't going are still going to try to get it. But for me, like, I just wanted to commemorate that experience, which I'm not going to have, sadly.
This will be like, this is what you could have done, and this is what you got in Jared. You got your Diddy Trooper, and you're gonna like it, and that's where I'm at. I just love it, and I feel like the cherry blossom design in person is gonna be so beautiful, like printed on the armor like that. And I saw some people saying it looked like blood spatter. I could see that, like if you just wake up in the middle of the night, like I often do, you're wiping your eyes and you're like, holy shit, what is that? But yeah, no, it's beautiful, man. And
it is. I think in person it's not going to really look like blood splatter. I see kind of like on the helmet a little bit what they mean.
Yeah, it's like more of like a far back thing. Seeing it here on my screen, like HD on my monitor, it looks fantastic. It really does.
Yeah, because there's detail in the petals and stuff. It's not just a flat image. And
you could see like you could see the branches running through and everything. Pretty awesome. Guys, 74 people watching. If you haven't already, by the way, thank you so much everybody for being here. Consider dropping a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, by the way, we have a donation goal. I'm going to be trying to get all of these Celebration exclusives. It's going to cost me a lot of money. So if you want to help me out, I'm going to be doing these reviews. Got my figure fun goal up as always. I like Steve always tells me I use the goals wrong. I'm like, dude, it's my goal. If I want to name it, because you're supposed to say like, oh, 5 super chats and I'll do this. I'm like, no, I'm just calling it the figure fun, man. I was just about to ask Chris his thoughts and he disappeared. So maybe he won't be able to. Oh, there he is. Okay, he's back.
I'm still here. I was typing you stuff. Well, okay. I can say now because you're letting me talk. I was just going to say I'm in and out or whatever because Noah's going to be down here again while Aaliyah does some stuff. But I'm still here and I'm still talking.
Okay.
I'll have. So Chris, he's not here yet, but he will be.
We'll jump to you then. That's crazy, Kevin. Yeah. You got to oil him up when you get him. That's wild. That's 100% not Chris's brother. 100% not his brother. He did not just say that. Yeah, exactly. Once you wipe the crust out of your eyes, you're like, oh, it's cherry blossoms. But Chris,
it got me in the morning too. I was like, what am I looking at?
Yeah, I'm like, what is that? And then I saw the jacket and everything. Chris, what are your thoughts on this? I know this is obviously not a pickup for you as of right now because you're not going to the convention or whatever. But what are your thoughts on this being an exclusive and the execution of it? It's another trooper, but it's a unique one.
I'm kind of one of those in that minority where I think an exclusive shouldn't be something that we just all love. Like, yes, we should love it, right? But sometimes that can be unfair to if a character is so beloved that some people miss out on. So I think having a little bit of stuff like this where it's different, super out there, limited, that way, when somebody has it, you're asking like, oh, I've never seen this before, never seen these in the movies, what is it? Like, it's a conversation piece, a conversation starter, and I really like those. Had I been attending, like Mike had already stated, this would have been the perfect souvenir to capitalize that. Not only Japan, but Star Wars itself. It kind of like combines the two. And because we're close to DC, they always do the cherry blossom stuff,
which is right now. So
this kind of hits home, to be honest. So
that's right. I forgot that's a big deal there.
Yeah, everybody's been going to it. I didn't go because I hate DC and it's always awful to drive there.
I think Kevin was down there today. Actually,
and Kevin said, I think I think Kevin went the other day. I thought he said he went and it was awful, or tried to go. I don't know. Maybe someone else told me that, but
guys, I'm gonna step away for a sec. All right,
you're good. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Valk, thank you so much, my friend, for the $2 super chat. Valk says, greatly stream. I think he meant great. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. I'm $2 closer to getting my 3 Celebration exclusives because he's going to bankrupt me. But that's okay. I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for you guys. I'll absolutely do videos on all of these, and I cannot wait to check them out. What's up, by the way? D-Lo in the house, guys. If you haven't already, check out D-Lo the Collector. I love this guy. Wolfpack Wednesday member. A good dude. Spitting the facts on rooted hair always, and I saw a lot of people really enjoying his thoughts on rooted hair. I can't remember. It might have been Brick's stream he was on this past weekend. I saw a lot of people, giving a shout out to D-Lo. Thank you so much for being here, D-Lo. D-Lo says, I think this is the perfect exclusive for Celebration. It screams, you had to be, you just had to be there. Exactly, right? You look at it, you give that little smirk in your collection, you look over and you're like, you just had to be there, and that's all you say, right? I love the backdrop too. Like I said, that backdrop makes it special because it says, Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025. And like I said, guys, there is a regular version. I think this one is exclusive to 1,000, and then there's 1,500 going to the US.
The regular doesn't have the little robe.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't have the jacket.
So I would want all that stuff. Like that's why I feel this release is so cool. And to be honest, if they're gonna have a presence at Celebration every year, I hope they do a piece for whatever they're representing. Because it'd be awesome to one year go with you or like Kevin, like we all go, whoever goes with us or whatever, and we were able to snag a piece like this. It's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I agree. You just gave me the best idea ever, and I don't know the name of it, but you guys, I guess it would be like a wardrobe, and like in the films where you see like a lot of classic films where you see women undressing and it's like a foldable like wardrobe where they hang their clothes over it. How hilarious would it be to have a 6-scale one of those and kind of having the Stormtrooper like peeking out behind it and the jacket is like kind of folded over that little wardrobe thing? That'd be hilarious. I don't know the exact term for it. It might be a wardrobe, but that you just gave me a great idea. But by the way, thank you so much, Moose, for the $2 super chat. You guys are too kind. And Moose says, this is a Stormtrooper pimp in their apartment. Yeah, this next to the Range Trooper, dude, a Range Trooper, they could definitely have quite the business there. It's funny, I actually saw Pedro, I was talking to a buddy of mine who lives in HK, and he was like brainstorming ideas of different head sculpts. I was like, dude, this would actually look really sick with like the Gi-Hun head sculpt from the Squid Game figure. I feel like that would just work. I think that would look really cool. I love doing that. I actually have a couple Stormtroopers. Like I have a Snowtrooper in my display with like a Star Wars alien head. Like it's technically a Cad Bane head, but it doesn't really look like Cad Bane, but it looks like that same species. So I like doing that. It reminds me of Battlefront. We got Jordan Skinner in the house. What's up, Jordan? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you dropping by. Kaiju says, I'll be hitting up Toy Sapiens Thursday or Friday. We'll have a new video then. Hopefully this guy... Yeah, I want to see this one on video. I was actually talking to Kaiju about this. I'm like, dude, I have to have this one. Like, you either get this one or you get the one without the jacket. And I feel like I have to have the jacket. Speaking of Kaiju, I do have this short little video pulled up. I love Kaiju's intro. I wish I came up beforehand. I love the music. Or the little chime, I should say. These are actually these are like little mini 1/6 scale Hot Toys magnet box things. They've done them before in the past. Those are really cool. There's the Grogu. Like I said, I stand by it. I still think the hands are a little bit oversized on it, though it does look pretty cool. I do think the hands are a little bit oversized. Yeah, Big Dog Pound. I think that's considered a wardrobe. I don't know for sure exactly the name of it, but I think it's a wardrobe. Thank you so much, Sneaky, for the $2 super chat. Sneaky says, Vader popped a molly and he's sweating. Woo! Yeah, I've seen those comments all over the place, dude. And even in the chat here, people are saying, like, the rave Vader, the drug addict Vader. There's just names for all these exclusives. I love it. The Diddy Trooper. We're just coming up with all kinds of stuff for these. This is the Galen here. Again, very, very excited for this one. It's crazy that the sculpt gets so blown out by this crappy lighting that they have at these stores.
Dude, that lighting is not his
so bad.
That did not look like him at all.
Yeah, it really blows him out. But like I said, I've seen some photos of him that look really amazing. But you can see here, even the eyes, it's like blowing out the detail around the eyes. And it's not, this ain't Kaiju's fault, obviously. This is just like at the I think this is Toy Sapiens, right, Kaiju, where you're filming this. This is just at Toy Sapiens. This is the crappy lighting they have. Obviously, when you're seeing this stuff in person, it probably looks better to the naked eye, but on camera, it just doesn't come off. The absolute beauty, I think, is next. Oh, there he is. So here's actually video of this Vader, guys, looking real nice, if you ask me. And I think it makes it even more clear here when you see him in this video here from Kaiju. You could see that nylon suit. Love the base. Really, really love the base. And like I said, I didn't notice originally that hilt had some red paint around the emitter.
Yeah,
I think
cool.
that's really cool. Yeah, it's a nice pop of color.
Some people
Really,
are
really
wondering,
sick.
like, how long do they think the paint's going to last on the suit? But I feel like if it was built
It'll be
like
fine.
that for a reason, yeah.
It's probably screen printed onto the suit. It's going to be pretty durable. Lane, we miss you. I was telling Lane how sad he was making me, and I dropped like the Vince McMahon gif where he's like, I sent that to Lane when he told me he wasn't coming on. But Lane, I appreciate you for being here, my friend. Lane says, Hot Toys Hotline, keep on popping. Sorry I missed on it. It's all right, my friend. It's okay. Life happens. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. And Lane, I appreciate the $2 super chat. And Valk as well, yet again, my friend. You guys are too kind. We're not looking at cost babies. I know Kaiju, I heard you talking about them cost babies, dude. I heard you talking about them cost babies in this video, dude. I think you're a cost baby guy now. And Valk says, I still like the term gay shit trooper. I think that's pretty good, too. I think that's fitting. I think that's acceptable in the lore. But Valk, Jog, everybody else, thank you so much, my friends. I appreciate you guys. For the $2 super chat, you guys are too kind.
Hotties.
And did we just reach the figure fun goal? We did. I see the confetti dropping. Thank you so much, guys. You're helping me to be one step closer to my celebration exclusives. And I'm going to pay a ton of money to get all three at one time. But I appreciate you. You guys are too kind. Moose says the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper is keeping his pimp hand strong. I don't know. I feel like in person, it would probably come off a little bit better, too. We just kind of have to wait and see. But, guys, we're talking about the Daredevil. I know a lot of people are really excited for this one. It's tough. This one's really tough for me because I did sell my She-Hulk in anticipation to see what we get from this show. My She-Hulk version, I should say. I sold my She-Hulk as well. But my She-Hulk version of Daredevil, which I really like. I love that inspiration from his father's boxing gear on that suit. I thought that was really cool. I know it wasn't for everybody, but I like the lore behind it, you know. But, of course, Daredevil, when you think of Daredevil, you think of the all-red suit. That's the most iconic look for Daredevil, and I do think this suit looks nice. The head sculpt's never going to do it for me. I just think it looks creepy, and I know people comment on the eyes. It's just, like, unavoidable because he's blind, right? He's blind. The eyes are going to look dead. They're going to look creepy. I would never display him without the glasses if I was going to use the head sculpt because just why? Why would you do that? I don't know. But I will say, like, and I was talking to Jose about this. The one thing this is missing is that Daredevil logo on the chest. And we saw a little tease of that black and red suit with the Daredevil. And I'm like, shit, are they going to do the red suit with the Daredevil logo now? They got to, right?
That's what I'm waiting for, dude.
So I'm like, right. So that's what's holding me back on wanting to pre-order this. Because I like this suit. I know people are hit or miss on it. I like it. I think it looks nice. I like the costume design. He doesn't come with that much. I felt like the original Daredevil came with the most because he had that little diorama base. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not like rushing to pre-order this one. I think it's cool. I think I like it more than the She-Hulk one, but I don't know. I do see the upper body is a little bit beefier. I know some people were saying they thought he was too skinny in the upper body. I think they actually beefed up the upper body a little bit on this one. By the way, shout out to what's up, Mr. J. I think this is formerly TX Boy, right? You're TX Boy, I think so. By the way, what's up, Mr. J? He says this piece. I love this piece. Holding out for the Daredevil logo, but going to keep a close eye. That's exactly where I sit on it. I'm like, I like it, not going to pre-order it right now. I'm just very, very much on the fence because I think it's a nice looking suit. I like the mouth plates. I actually think the stubble looks really nice on this as well. I want to get a better shot of that head sculpt. That's badass. I love the wired, what would you call that when they're connected together? I know they're like,
I actually don't know what you would call
billy
that.
Clubs. I guess you consider them billy clubs. What do they call when they're connected? That I don't
remember. But I think this is a great like expression on them. I think it works. It sells it.
It looks like Charlie Cox. Like I have no complaint about the mouth plates. They look really good. We got Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare, formerly the Hot Toys Nightmare, now Nightmare's Cave in the house. What's up, Sean? Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Always great to see you. Cannot wait to have you back one day on the streams, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Boba Fettuccine in the house. I don't
Hey
know why I said
now.
in the house because I already said hi to him. He was here earlier. Sorry, Boba Chat. But he is in the house, literally. Boba says, I was millimeters away from hitting the pre-order button on this one, and at the last second decided to take a chance and wait for the Daredevil logo battle damage hurt. So that's the thing, man. Like, it's tough. It's tough, dude. When you have this inkling that there's going to be another one on the horizon that's so close to what we want, it's tough to want to grab this one. And I already know, I'm calling it right now. There's going to be people that buy this one and they're going to get vinyl stickers made of the Daredevil logo and throw it on the chest. It's going to happen. It's 100% going to happen. But I don't know if I want to do that. I think I probably will wait as well. So it's still just called Billy Clubs. There's no, if it's connected in the middle, that doesn't change any of it. Gotcha. I wasn't too sure. Let's see. Yomo says, maybe he'll get the Daredevil logo on the suit at the end of the season. If not, I might see if I can get it painted on. See, that's what I'm saying, like painted on or vinyl. I would do vinyl sticker because then when you go to sell it, you could reverse it. Like Chris did with his Venom. Chris had the Venom logo, the spider logo put on his Hardy Venom, and then he just peeled it off when he went to
twice
sell it.
And no harm either.
Yeah.
It's nice.
So I would maybe just hit up Zach from Collecting Weekly. I know he does vinyl stickers. He'll do it for you. Zach is the best, and he's willing to do anything within reason. So hit up Zach. He'll probably do it for you.
I'm not watching the show, but like that logo's got to come at some point. I mean, this is Marvel.
It's
like,
too iconic not to have, and it's in Disney's hands. It's not like it's being held back by someone else. You know, a third party like Sony who likes to screw us over on.
Yeah, they don't shy away from comic accuracy. So.
Yeah, very bizarre. Very bizarre. See, the head sculpt, I don't think it's bad. I saw some people laugh reacting this one on Facebook. I don't think it's a bad sculpt. It looks like Charlie Cox. I just don't, it's creepy. I'm not going to, like I mentioned, like Chris the other day, he does like his fake blind guy act as a joke. And this looks like Chris to me. This is Chris when he's like walking through my house pretending like he can't see me.
I love that that's a thing between you guys.
Yeah.
But it's like, so whatever. But dude, I think they did a great job with the hair. I think the beard looks really good. That's
the best part.
Yeah,
off, the best part is the beard for sure.
Yeah.
I know, dude. That black suit it's a hot suit, man. But I'm like, that's not the definitive suit, though. I want like a red Daredevil suit. But I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably get that black suit. That shit, it's just too hard. It's so hard.
Dude, does he not have moving eyes? Because like you wouldn't need him. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly my point. Someone brought that up in the Hot Toys Hotline chat. They're like, wow, no moving eyes. I'm like, dude, he's blind. He doesn't move
I was
his
just
eyes.
about to say, you know how crazy it is
blind,
for them to be able to pull off and make it look like he's actually blind, even though he's like by having the camera like off so it looks like he's not looking at you.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what it is.
He should have moving ears.
And
like,
that's not even like a joke about blindness. Like legitimately, like them having moving eyes.
It's like they captured that blank stare, like.
Yeah, because Charlie Cox does such a great job at like putting that energy out, like that he actually is blind, and he doesn't look around the room acting like he could see stuff. You know, he looks blind. You know, you have no reason to move your eyeballs when you can't see anything. So why would he have? Yeah, he doesn't need moving eyeballs. That's ridiculous. That would just been a waste of Hot Toys time. The glasses kind of look better than the She-Hulk version. I will say that. I prefer
Madam
Web.
I prefer
the. Let's see. Ren the Collector says it leaks from the black. Okay, yes, that was a comment already read. Yeah, I know. What's up, Blake? Blake, I know he's really high. By the way, guys, 82 people watching. You guys are the best. If you haven't already, consider dropping a like on the stream. We're talking about the Daredevil from Born Again. Blake says, I'm so excited for it. If anything, I'll have both. Dude, I know. Blake was excited for this and championing for this like I was with the Mr. Freeze. So I know he's beyond hype for this. I'm really happy for you, dude. Like I said, I like this figure. I really do. I just don't know if I want to jump on this one yet. And yeah, Mike, I totally agree, bro. Like this close-up here of this mouth plate, pretty damn good. I really do like it.
Those are usually tough to pull off, man.
And the lenses are fire on the mask, too. I love how those lenses look.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice figure, man. It's tempting. It really is. It's so tempting, actually. Especially because I sold my other one. Yeah, I actually kind of like the gritting teeth more.
I do, too. I would definitely display that.
Even, like, the same case with the Netflix version. I kind of enjoy that gritting teeth mouth plate more than the regular one, too. I love how the nose fits in the mask. Sometimes they get that wrong. It fits nicely in the mask. I think it looks pretty accurate. The texture on the mask is great.
Yeah, like you have to make sure it's pushed up all the way.
Exactly.
You know, like just like the Batman.
Hey, no offense, Jose. Affleck is still my Daredevil as well. That's how far with Electro.
Well, I liked Affleck as Daredevil, but objectively looking back at it, he was pretty bad because the film was so bad. Like,
Well, that's how far I go back. It was good to me as a kid.
It's like I loved the original Fantastic Four, but I'm sure compared to this new one, it's going to be cheeks. You know, like that's just how the natural progression of things sometimes.
Well, I don't think it'll beat the Miles Teller version, and I do like Miles Teller. He's a good actor and stuff. But
yeah. Oh yeah, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you pre-order that Sideshow director's chair that went up for pre-order today. It's a really hot item.
Director's chair. What do you mean?
Yeah, man. That's the hot item.
Yeah, it's the hot item of the day. Their director's chair that they put up. Pedro said the cock sculpt is great. Just why does he have combed hair in this outfit? I guess the theory is maybe like he didn't just take off the mask and that's just, or maybe he puts a lot of product in his hair. Who knows? Let's see. Mr. J says this will pop on the shelf. Going to go great with the red and blue Spotty and Deadpool. Absolutely. Or like the Punisher, Frank Castle. Obviously, any figures of him, it's going to look sick with. It's a nice looking figure. Like I said, I'm very happy with it. Just don't know if I'll be picking it up. I could see where people are saying the legs are a bit slim, but I actually overall do like the proportions on the upper body. I think he looks like pretty muscular because Charlie Cox actually beefed up quite a bit for this show.
Yeah.
Considering he's not normally a super muscular guy. He's always been in shape, obviously. And this is badass, by the way. The helmet stand, absolutely love that. Absolutely
that's
love
great.
That.
I hadn't
like the
noticed
modern
that.
suit Batman comes with the stand for the extra cowl, the empty cowl.
We need that for everything, man.
Totally agree, because I love accessories, and any way you could display everything you got. Like, that would be awesome if they did that with, like, the Mandalorian figures that we had, like Casca and Sabine and all them. Like, it was an L that they didn't do that for them, so... And one more thing, guys, in regards to Celebration, and shout out to Kaiju. He kind of like called this early on. But here we have this little like sheet that Hot Toys has been updating, this little checklist, if you will. And Kaiju kind of pointed this out off the rips. He's like, and this is obviously when we only saw Galen and Vader. He's like, yeah, I think we're absolutely going to get 2 more Hot Toys because there's a gap in between Galen and Vader on this checklist. So I think it's safe to say we'll be getting 1 more figure from Celebration because there's got to be a figure in that number 2 slot. There's no way it's going to be like a Cos Baby or something because those are all separated elsewhere. I think for sure we're getting another figure. So very interested to see what that last figure is. I imagine that'll probably be shown by next week. And hopefully it's something really cool. So very, very interested to see what that is. But those are your Celebration exclusives, guys. Really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to getting these in my collection. And yeah. I'm pretty happy with what we're seeing. And 4 figures, I think that's phenomenal. 4 figures for 1 event. You really cannot ask for more. And all instant releases for the Celebration versions, no less. Can't complain at all. Guys, moving on to what you've all probably been waiting for, the hot topic of this week. What do the guys from Hot Toys Hotline think of the Artisan Anakin? If you haven't watched yet, I did do a video on this Artisan Anakin, and I kind of went in depth and shared my thoughts on it, but I know some of you guys probably didn't watch that video, and some of you guys are here live, and you haven't heard from Mike or Chris, so it's going to be a very fun topic of discussion here with this Anakin. So, I want to start by saying this. These blogger photos, it seems like there's 2 photographers that did these blogger photos. The one photographer, I feel like he did not do this figure justice at all. My favorite photos, and I said that in my video, are the ones where they're like replicating the fight between Dooku and Obi-Wan when obviously he decapitates Dooku. Those are my favorite photos. I think those made the figure look the best in these final product photos. These photos here are the ones that really stirred up some trouble because they make the hair, and the hair, I will start by saying the hair,
big there.
The body too, like the way that they bloused out the robe, it kind of framed the body weird. And the robe already is pretty bad. We know this. All the Jedi
just have
robes
like his
head
rough. Down and back, and then his stomach out like he's bent. It's just not a great pose. It's not flattering for.
Yeah, and like, I think what they were trying to do here was like replicate those like promotional photos of Hayden when he's wearing the costume and they've got the gray background, which is a cool idea and concept, but the way they lit these photos, it made the hair look so freaking dark. And like, that's what immediately sent everybody into a frenzy. Like these photos here, love them. I love these photos. I think the hair shape looks excellent.
Yeah, these are the best.
The likeness is nice. Yeah, like, and this is a different photographer. This is, you can see this is BG Toy Art. And then if you jump over to these photos, it's I think it says Unai. I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce this. Unai something. Unai 2.
You can see subtle differences in the hair too.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this does a great job at actually showing the likeness as best as they could in these these early photos that we got for the final product. I think he looks awesome here in terms of the likeness. I think the hair shape is really close to what it looks like in a lot of the scenes in the film. I have no complaints about how it looks in terms of the sculpt and the hair in this photo here. Now, the other thing to consider, guys, when it comes to the hair color is when you look at some of these photos, if it is darker lighting, the hair is going to appear darker regardless of whether they had the hair exactly like the prototype. It's going to look darker. Even in Revenge of the Sith, like I use this example in my video, and when I was talking to other people as well. In the Mustafar scenes, his hair looks like a darker brown because it's much darker when they were filming those scenes, obviously. But of course, that same expectation in reverse, you expect when you see it in proper lighting that it's going to be that lighter brown color like it was on the actual wig that Hayden wore in the film. And in that prototype, it was a very light color. Unfortunately, Hot Toys had to make a decision on their end where they're like, okay, how do we get this hair to stay so when we ship it, it doesn't show up as a completely jumbled mess and completely fall out? And if you look, and we'll take a look back at the prototype, there's not that much product in the hair on the prototype at all. So I think it's a combination of two things. I think they slightly changed the color of the hair and it's slightly darker. But also, when they loaded the hair with the hair product, it made it even darker because think about it, guys. When you put hair product in your hair, like I have brown hair, or when my hair gets wet, it looks way darker. So when you put hair product in the hair that makes it look wet all the time, it's going to make the whole head of hair essentially look darker. And we've seen now that we've had a good test variety of different head sculpts and different batches that's been affecting certain copies more than others. I will say, and I think, Chris, you could probably agree to this, the more recent photos we've seen, the copies have been much better, and obviously the lighting has been much better. They've looked a lot better. But yeah, just this initial run of photos, it really sent people into a frenzy. And the one thing also that I noticed is the original prototype was a one-piece head sculpt. This is now a two-piece head sculpt. And I think the reason for that was a good thing, because I do not like what InArt did with their rooted hair figures where we have to peel the whole back of the hair off and there's that tiny ass little strand holding it in place. I think that is so sketchy, and the hair never goes back to how it was.
Yeah, that's terrible, dude.
Yeah, so I think Hot Toys made the kind of the design decision. We're like, okay, we want people to touch this hair as little as possible. Because, guys, this is not an easy hairstyle to nail. It's so unique and it's messy, but also kept in a certain way. And though, yes, it does look different in certain shots in the film, generally speaking, it's a difficult hair shape to keep in shape. And I think that's why they just went with the decision to just load the shit out of it with product. So you can style it on your own and make it look as good as possible in your display. But it's going to require, I don't think this is going to be an out-of-the-box experience. I don't. I think it's going to be, you have to get it, put it on there, look at photos of Hayden, and style it how you want it based on whatever scene you're going for. And that's just my opinion on it. I think the sculpt looks awesome. And I think when we look at some more photos outside of this, I'm very, very pleased by the head sculpt. And I think the hair shape looks fine in most of the photos. Again, my biggest gripe is the darkness of the hair. And I think, Chris, for both of us, that was kind of like the standout thing for us. Like, why is the hair so dark? It's like, you know, and in the darker photos, again, it's understandable, but it's interesting. So I don't want to sit here and talk all day because, you know, I could talk about this all day. But Chris, Noah's over here whipping stuff, and Chris, like, boy, you better go off my helmet. But yeah, so Chris, I think this is going to require some styling on your end. You know, Hot Toys mentioned at Secret Base, they were telling people maybe take a toothpick, run it through the strands, maybe separate them a little bit. I'm going to take some water and a makeup brush to mine. I'm like trying not to laugh every time you look over at Noah. But yeah, I'm going to take like some
talking to the Hulk.
I know. He's like, leave me alone. So I'm definitely going to be taking like a makeup brush with some water to mine and just lightly brushing through the hair, restyling it how I want it. It's going to need that. It's going to need that. But Chris, I'm going to jump to you, share your thoughts on it. You know, your initial reaction to it. You know, we've had time to digest it. I'll go through some more photos. I'll share some better photos as well. I will pull up some of the worst photos like this one here, because I feel like this is one of the worst photos that we had with this this final product drop. But passing to you, Chris.
Yeah, you know, my initial reaction to this was kind of, I mean, call it overboard, whatever it is. Like, I guess it could be, but for a character that I love so much and saw the prototype, I know we never get like 100%. But for it to change as many things as it did for a character that I love so much, I already set out the gate that I was gonna critique it hard. And when I saw it, like the first photos you sent to me, I was like, crap, here we go. I gotta look at some more photos. And I went in and I just couldn't find like I was happy that it's out. But that first reaction, I was like, dang, I'm a little disappointed by it. I still like it. It's way better than the 1.0 that Hot
Yeah.
Toys had with the sculpted. Like the sculpt is on point, and we've seen that with photos that have come
The
out.
later photos, and like I said, I'll pull them up, but the later photos tell a completely
And-
different story.
and
Like
like
even
you
this shot
said-
here is really nice too.
Yeah, like I completely didn't even realize either until you said it in your video that it's two separate pieces now, which may have something to do with his jawline because I do think there's a bit of softness and a bit of like tweaking in the nose, the eyes, like that all plays into somebody's likeness, the shadowing, paint apps, whatever. And like you had told me, you know, it is mass produced, so I have to keep that in mind. And I think for what they were able to achieve, they did a great job. The only thing that is down that I can get past all of that is the hair. But like you
See,
said,
right
it's
here,
more
dude.
it's like you kind of have to play with it. And I've seen others who have like where it lightens up a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
sure in a DTOF lighting, for me, especially in person, it'll look a little bit better. And
Oh yeah, because it's got that bright white light for sure. It's gonna look nice on it.
yeah, and so I'm still very excited for this. I do wish that, you know, they had done a little bit more because essentially the head sculpt is the money piece for this figure. Everything else is practically the same. Now, I did notice there is one thing with this because I saw somebody post a side by side of the Artisan and the 1.0.
Mhm.
And I think the tabards originally, I don't remember, they weren't tapered to angle space up because essentially basically they go over his shoulders, but they're supposed to like come straight down. The 1.0 they kind of fan, they're not supposed to do that, so they angle in and then straighten, and they're sewn that way on purpose. Like if you looked
Right,
under
they're
his
sewn at a
belt,
point
it'd be
under the
sewn
belt,
at a
yeah.
yes. And I feel like they did that with this release and not the 1.0, so I was happy to see that. The color is a little bit better on this one versus that one too, like as far as the tunic goes. But that robe you and I have kind of talked about, it's still like
The robe's
a miss
awful.
there. Yeah. So
But yeah, and I don't want to jump the gun, guys. When it comes to the clothing, I am speaking with a particular company about potentially. It's a huge potentially because I just brought it up to them literally today. But I am speaking with a company who makes mass-produced clothing at a really nice level. I'm talking to them about potentially making an outfit set for this Anakin. And if they could pull it off, dude, and make it much more accurate, like that's going to be an unbeatable Anakin figure, dude. Like in any scale, it's going to be unbeatable. And still, I think this is still unbeatable right now. Maybe that Blitzway statue will be a rival for it, but I still think the likeness on this is better than that because the likeness on this is fantastic. And Daniel makes a point here, like 500 after shipping is a lot of money to have to deal with such major changes. Yes,
also
Yep.
why
fair point,
Yep.
but also, and a couple of people have made this point. Don't cancel it though, because if you want to fund your collection,
Yeah.
that $500 is going to turn into 1,000 plus on eBay. So, right? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Cancel it so we can get a weightless conversion. But or unless you want to hook up a buddy too, always think about your boys as well. Mr. J says I almost canceled this pre-order. Then I was like, what have I done? Yeah, I mean, you got to reel yourself back in sometimes. Exactly. Like, you know, if it's selling for over 1,000, if you're really not happy with it, use it to fund something else in your collection or use it for trade bait, you know? Instead of like looking at more of these photos, Chris, because we already kind of get the gist, I want to move on. Chris, this was right here, and because Chris and I have a timeline of like our discussions on this. We started going at it with each other, you know, as we do because we're friends. We're going back and forth with each other right when it dropped, and then we ended at okay. Let's wait for the in-hand photos. Let's see what people.
dude, I mean, it was crazy. We were like
until like
I don't know,
1
I
in the
was like,
morning we were
dude, this is-
debating, and I'm like, Chris,
It
it's
was almost
fine, just wait.
dude,
I'm
I
like,
was
just wait.
dude, this isn't. Yeah.
And so that's
It
where
was
we ended
crazy.
up. We ended up at like, okay, we're going to wait for the final product in hand photos and see what we think. And this was the first shout out to this person here. this was the first glimmer of hope right here. This video was the first glimmer of hope. We're like, okay, we got something on here. Like, let them cook. That's what we saw with this video here, because this is the first one that went out, and we saw that Anakin likeness there, and we saw the hair shape when he put it on the head, and it was looking pretty nice. And he does like a close-up of the sculpt here, and the hair is looking lighter. This was the first glimmer of hope here where we're like, okay, maybe we got something here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to this collector here for getting the video up so quick. And I love it when someone actually just puts out the best possible video they can instead of like going for the shock value and trying to get people going. But you'll see here towards the end of the video, he puts the head sculpt on the body, and I'm like, that's Hayden right there. That looks like Hayden. He's got it at a good angle. He's got the lightsaber kind of along the side of his face. Dang, dude, Mr. J, you got 3-man, hit me up. I'll take one off you, or just sell them all on eBay. Whatever you do, I won't blame you. But I would love to get a second one. But hook up Jose first, because Jose missed out. But yeah, Chris, this was that first video that came out where we're like, okay, maybe we got something here. And I love the shots where he has the lightsaber kind of held up next to his face, because I'm like, that's so Anakin right there. And that slight reflection of the blue right here. These shots right here, everybody was screenshotting it, and a lot of people were like, okay, we got something here. I still don't think the hair is styled properly in this photo. Again, it's not an out-of-the-box experience, in my opinion. Not at all. I don't know if he shows any more photos. Okay, so that's all we got here. This next
I'm definitely
photo,
going to be trying to style with a Q-tip.
Yeah.
So here's my timeline. What you just shown, I was like, cool. The hair.
oh, I'm
can
jumping
be-
timelines.
can be
Hold on, I'm
different.
jumping timelines. Hold on.
It's
I gotta stop
better.
this first. Hold on. Sorry to cut you
I
off,
was
but
going to say.
I'm jumping timelines because this was the next thing in the timeline. So we're going to go back to this photo. Don't worry, guys. But we have one more thing in the timeline that we have to go to. Hold on. So the next thing actually was this. Let me pull it up here.
Okay.
All right. So this, did he just knock over one of your figures? Anyways, guys, this was actually the next thing in the timeline. This is where, shout out again to 1/6 Lovers. 1/6 Lovers, dude, I feel like he saves these releases, dude. He really does.
Looks great.
Right, like he was the first one, and I was talking to him. I'm like, dude, you need to go get this figure ASAP. I was like, please go get it. He's like, dude, I'm sprinting over to Secret Base to get it right now, because I knew every figure he does it justice. He's a great photographer. He does awesome quick unboxings. So he put these photos out, and some of these photos are going to look very familiar because these photos got passed around very quickly because, again, he kind of saved it for a lot of people. And I've said this in my video. I don't think his hair is the best styling-wise when it comes to, like, straight out of the box. I don't think it looks bad, but it's not the best copy I've seen. So he's going to have to work at it a little bit, style the sides a little bit, slick it back a little bit more, kind of manipulate it. But yeah, I think generally speaking, the likeness looks awesome. You can also see here, I kind of talked to you guys about the, and you have to really look close to see it, but about the product in the hair. You could see some spots in the hair where it's darker and there's some lighter coloring coming through. And again, I think it's going to be a case-by-case basis with every single copy, but generally speaking, on the likeness, dude, fantastic. Fantastic. Love the blue in the eyes. I love the expression. And some people were saying the sculpt paint is flat. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing a lot of detail in these photos. The speckling on the skin, Hayden's mole on his chin, up by his nose. Everything looked good to me. The paint job looks excellent to me. I'm really happy with how it looks. So remember when I said you guys would recognize some of these photos? So another thing that 1/6 Lovers did is he swapped the Darth Maul 2.0 eyeballs over to this and made a Dark Side Anakin. And people started going nuts for this. And after he did this, and I'm guessing OT Customs saw how mad people were going, he then announced that he's going to be offering Dark Side Anakin eyeballs. So that's going to be probably a popular thing that people are going to do. Although I do think they're going to announce an Artisan Anakin very soon, like a Dark Side version.
Which I can wait for, you know.
Me too. I'd rather have both than just go Dark Side, you know. But
yeah,
dude,
this is fine. I think when you have his eyes up, kind of head down, that's where this figure really comes to life, and that likeness really stands out to Anakin's whole
that like kind of
journey towards the dark
sinister
side.
look.
Yeah, he had like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that dark.
You will not take her from me. That look. Zombie says much better than most people. Yeah, I mean, you know, Zombie, it's very easy to be swayed by the crowd when you see. To be fair, it was a vast majority of people like shitting on it, quite literally.
Well, I don't know.
Not literally, but quite figuratively, people were shitting on it. But potentially, if they had it in hand, they would have shit on it. Who knows?
Right.
But
because it was such an anticipated
right.
figure. I mean, and to be fair, those prototypes did look like it was a still of Hayden. Like it was that good. It looked like the actor himself. So I guess to do that in mass, you kind of brought me down to earth a little bit in realizing that like it would be hard to replicate that over and over. But
Yeah.
I still feel like the stuff that they did miss on, like, I don't know. And I guess people hating on the hair thing at conventions forced them to slick the hair more. So maybe it's
Exactly.
our fault, but
Nail on the head. Nail on the head. That is exactly, precisely what happened.
But I think that was realistic, though, because
for sure.
you know,
But that's exactly
saw-
probably what happened. It was probably the
Yeah.
response to that, for sure.
But guys, I still think that this figure, as their flagship artisan release, because I know we've already had the Joker, but I still think there are some really strange misses in this for what this line could be. I mean, so much of this is a re-release. So much of this has not been 2.0'd. The materials are the same. Why do you get only one USB saber? What is that? I mean,
Yeah,
what
that's weird.
an
And
odd
not
miss.
using leather on the tabards. Yeah,
Not
it was
maybe
kind of
for Dooku, they don't because they know people would use it like I would have. I mean, it's a smart thing for you to buy into the 2.0 Dooku, but
Yeah, but the 2.0 Dooku is going to have moving eyes, updated paint. It's going to have more to pick it up than just the saber. But I agree, Chris. Like that could be a strategy, right? They're like,
I'm
hey, we
hoping
want
that
them to buy
Dooku
it.
comes with his speeder
Mike,
too. But
Mike, you're
I'm
absolutely
hoping so,
right.
too. Yeah.
I think the fact of the matter is, though, most of that stuff was present in the prototype. So that's
Oh no, I agree. I just mean for this line.
No,
Like,
it
for
should have
a
been real
fair
leather.
premiere-
It should have been all
Exactly.
USB sabers. Absolutely. And we've said that before
More
many
interesting
times. Like,
base. Like there's just
I
I know
agree.
we've said it before.
yeah, I agree. I totally
The
agree.
hair, in my opinion, like, see, I don't like these wings that he's got here. I don't. It's kind of like you gotta do your best with those. But my issue with the hair is it looks best when it looks sculpted. And so, as someone that is not, I'm not like a rooted obsessive. I have the Batman in art. I think it looks fantastic. I got lucky with my copy. It looks great. I don't hate rooted. I don't love it. If I could get a sculpted version of this, not this photo. I mean, these look great, but in the actual blogger photos, the hair looks best, in my opinion, when it looks like a sculpt that Hot Toys can now achieve with how good their sculpted hair has gotten. So that's why I'm like, I don't know why I need the artisan version. If you give me that hair sculpted, I'd buy that, save the $120 all day long. But
Yeah.
that's just me, because this doesn't come with anything else that makes it their premier line. We're getting the same paint apps, we're getting rolling eyes, we're getting all that other stuff with every other figure. So
Yeah.
I'm not crapping on a figure. I'm just talking about artisan as
I
a
think
line.
that's the problem with not only
know?
Artisan but DX as a whole. Like
Yeah.
the line has become watered down because a lot of those DX features are now industry standard. Like third-party companies are now doing rolling eyeballs on the
Right.
regular. So it's like,
Right.
it's tough. I agree. I think moving forward, I think Hot Toys is really going to rethink their material choices. Like
Yeah.
seeing even that Vader, the dueling
Celebration
version of the
Vader,
Vader,
yeah.
like, and that has a nylon suit and a USB saber. That tells me that maybe they're realizing like this needs to be the norm from now on. So
Yeah.
big miss not making the materials leather and updating the tailoring on the outfit. But it's like, we saw that in the prototype, so it's like we expected that. It's like
Yeah. They didn't pull
and-
the wall on
you
us
know
or
what I'm
anything.
also so shocked about? That people are like, because people always do this, that whole coping thing on why they wouldn't get something. And they're like, oh, just wait till the pleather starts to degrade. Now, granted, that does happen to some people. But for a good chunk majority of the figures, this Anakin 1.0 came out like 2015, if I'm not mistaken, because Darkseid was 2018.
2000. Nah,
And-
it would have been, I think, 2016 maybe.
Either way,
might have
that's
been
still
2016,
and the
yeah.
fact that I got rid of it when
Maybe
this was
2016,
up for pre-order and it lasted
Yeah.
that many years and people's are still good taking photos of them.
I mean, like, so I still have both Anakins in my collection, and there's
Yeah,
no denying
no
that
issues.
the likeness on this looks, and there's no issues with them. Pleather's fine.
That's what I'm
But
talking about.
the
The pleather
likeness
part,
on
not the
this-
like.
Yeah.
But
no,
the
mine
likeness
is
on
fine
this,
too.
just going along with like the coping thing, and we all do it sometimes. You're like, shit, I just got this, and now there's a new one. But generally speaking, this looks way better as a figure of Hayden Christensen than the other versions of Anakin. That's just, and yes, the hair will require some maintenance. I know some people have mentioned that in the chat. It will require some futzing. It's not going to be, oh, look at this little cool Anakin head sculpt. You pop it out of the container and your figure's ready to go. You're going to have to be a fan of this character for once, and you just can't just rip it out of the box and throw it on the shelf. You're going to have to sit there and look at some photos. And sure, for a figure that's expensive, you shouldn't have to do that, but you have to do that with in-art figures too. I'm sorry to tell you guys, unless it was like the Ron and Harry that have so much product, their hair feels like it's a brick. Paul Atreides, you had to do that. A lot of I don't have Gandalf, but they literally put out a whole video on how to make them look proper out of the box. So you're going to have to do that with all these rooted hair figures for the most part, unless they have a really short hairstyle. So you need to be prepared for a collectible that's like a higher end collectible. You have to be prepared to do that stuff. And I know it sucks. I know it feels shitty for a company to tell you like you need to mess with it a little bit, but you're approaching another level of collecting that requires a bit more attention and a bit more care. And I personally don't think that's bad. I think what's worse is when you buy a set it and forget it figure, like a sculpted hair figure, and like in-art's like, oh, take a blow dryer to the plastic, to the hair on the sculpted hair. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I'm not taking a blow dryer to the plastic hair with paint on it and damaging it. You know what I mean? That's different to me. This, it's meant to be manipulated. That's why it's got the product in the hair. Yes, it's meant to keep it in place, but yeah.
Yeah, when I get it, I'm definitely going to be taking a toothpick to it, seeing if
me too.
I can play with it or whatever.
And guys, if you're new to it, you have to be very careful with it. Watch, like D-Lo, for example. D-Lo made a video on styling rooted hair. Other people made video. Like, if you're not confident, watch some of those in-art videos, because they are very helpful and very useful, and they share with you things that work. And make sure you just don't go into it blind, because it's not something you want to go into blind. I know, dude. Yeah, Yomo. This picture right here really, really made me happy, because I'm like, this looks good. The hair shape looks nice, albeit like obviously those little wings on the side. Maybe we could push them back a little bit more, but generally speaking, it looks good. Yes, Mr. J. I actually did order the Black Label Anakin, because you guys know me. I'm a big Anakin fan, more than I'd like to admit sometimes. So yes, I did pre-order the Black Label Anakin and the standard Obi-Wan. So very, very excited for that. And I will tell you guys, I have the WB100 Wonder Woman, who has pretty thick curls throughout her hair, and none of those curls have fallen out. There's very little loose hairs. I haven't touched her since I put her on the display. She's good to go. So that, obviously with the Joker, that was a little rough, the whole situation with hair falling out in certain copies and stuff. So it definitely sucks. It's awful, but I don't want people to get like into this mode of like, oh, every artisan hair, the hair is going to fall out. Every artisan, that's not going to happen, guys. I'm sure Hot Toys probably messed up somewhere.
I'm nervous about is like hearing all those Joker stories and stuff, and like.
But like I've got the imposter Joker, and he has no issues.
Rooted hairs, so yeah, and I don't have. This will be my first artisan for Hot Toys, because everything else has been in art. I have no issues with my artisan Joker,
imposter Joker. No issues with my Wonder Woman. I think what it was, maybe they used a specific glue with a specific hair product, and they had some sort of weird reaction, and the hair just started falling out. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense to me, because again, my other two figures are fine. Even the imposter Joker that came out right before that, no, there's nothing orange on. I haven't seen any imposter Jokers personally. I've seen no posts with the imposter Joker hair falling out. I've actually seen people saying, I will buy the imposter Joker sculpt and trade you for this one, or vice versa, whatever, just so I can get a sculpt that I'm not afraid it's going to fall out. So,
right. But yeah.
Big Dog Pound, I'll tell you this. If I mess with this Anakin and I feel comfortable that I can tell you guys things that I don't feel is destructive, where, you could easily mess up your figure if you do one thing wrong, you know what I mean? Potentially, yes. I don't think right now, with where I am with rooted hair, that I would be confident telling other people to do what I do. Although, I've been successful. Like I recently restyled my in-art Joker purple coat hair, because when I bought it, the curl, or not the curls, but like the thick strands of hair that they put product in, a lot of those fell out. Like they literally fell out because they didn't have enough product on them. Which I don't see happening with Paul Atreides, because I've told people this before. InArt has slowly added more product to their hair. Same case for Hot Toys here. Like, they've added more product to do their best to keep this hairstyle in proper shape. But if you look at Paul Atreides, he has a ton of product in his hair, and I'm confident nothing's going to happen with that hair. It's solid. It's, you know, those strands are locked in. But yeah, the Joker, it didn't have quite enough, and some of those strands kind of fell out, so I had to comb it through and like kind of reactivate the product with a little bit of water on a makeup brush. Start there. Get a makeup brush or a makeup brush kit on Amazon for very cheap because they're very soft bristle brushes, and they come with a lot of different shapes and sizes. That's the best thing to start with, in my opinion, for actually styling the rooted hair, is use a makeup brush. That's what I recommend, and that's what a lot of other people recommend. That wasn't my idea. Pedro says, Artisan is not a premier line. It was never advertised as such and only refers to wool hair implementation and the labor it costs to do so. The prestige factor is just commonly... I mean, yeah, and so many people... Connor Collectibles says the hair is falling out as part of the accessory. It will turn into a burnt Mustafar Anakin. Yeah, it's like one of those like children's toys where you add water to it and it changes how it looks. That's what's going to happen with your Artisan Anakin. Yeah, and honestly, my Artisan Joker out of the box, I had a later copy, my Imposter Joker. It looks great. I showed it on stream when I first got it. I'm like, for no styling at all, and I didn't touch it, I got a really good copy, and the hairline looks nice. I know not everyone looks nice, but mine was pretty good. Mr. J said, yeah, that dude had the one. Yeah, I mean, the one dude literally ripped his entire scalp of hair off. Like, I believe that it did start falling out on its own, because why would anyone just ruin their scalp? But I think it was like starting to happen. He's like, well, I'm getting a return anyway, so let me just finish the job. You know what I mean? But I totally believe that.
That was crazy.
Yeah, the entire head of hair fell out. I don't think so. I think it started
just
falling
looked
out.
like a toupee, bro.
Yeah, I think it like started to happen, and he was already getting a replacement. So, and maybe he was told to field destroy it. That could have happened because Sideshow requires field destroy now, even directly through them. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Anakin, though, guys. I'm very excited for it. Chris will actually have his before me. I think his shipped. I think yours is already on the way.
Yeah.
So Chris will have a video up finally. He's finally going to do another video on his channel very soon.
Yeah, got to for this, and I can't wait to see what my copy looks like in hand.
I'm excited for
what I can do with it.
Yeah, mine is coming from overseas, but I'm trying to get the guy to ship it out to me ASAP. So we'll see.
I'm super happy, super jealous of everybody getting this. I think everyone getting it, and I want to be clear. Like, I'm not, like I said, not crapping on the figure.
I don't think you were at all. You were pointing out something that's true. The tailoring on the clothes has not improved really, other than like what Chris mentioned about them kind of fixing that tabard going straight down. Like, that is a small fix. I still think the tabards look a little weird around the shoulders though. But.
They do a little bit. I just really hope that we continue. They're going to continue, obviously, but I hope that we get some complimentary figures, companion figures for them. Get us an Obi-Wan. I know we have that Dark Empire Luke coming up, but they don't really go together. But
I'm very
would
excited
love
for that
to
one
see.
too.
Yeah, I really hope they go because for Star Wars, like, this is all we have besides the Dark Empire. So I would like some more like prequels, some more in the same universe. It'd be great to have him going up against. It's what everybody wants, right?
Yeah.
Him on Mustafar with Obi-Wan. So
yeah, I totally agree. And guys, one thing I want to say. And I said this in my video, our thoughts on this is not at all to convince you. If you're like, I hate this figure, I hate how it turned out, I am not sharing my thoughts, and anybody else is not sharing their thoughts to convince you one way or the other. What we want to do is kind of present the facts as we're given them. This is what the figure looks like in hand. These are the examples we have. And then you kind of make your decision. And some people have reached out to me and said, dude, thank you so much for making that video. I was able to make a decision based on you making that video. And I love to hear that. But again, if you're not happy with the figure, I don't want you to spend $700+ or whatever you spent and then just keep it just because, you know what I mean? Like, you should be very happy with it for that price. So that's my thought on it. I'm very stoked to get this still. I know we have our issues here and there. I still think it's an excellent looking figure. I love the head sculpt. Very, very hopeful that we'll get that custom outfit made. Yeah, these photos saved it, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, because like it went through that stage, like what 1/6 was showing, or 6. What's his name again? 1/6 Lovers. Yeah, I was having a fart there. When he posted it, it was like the detail was in there, but I still felt like, because the hair wasn't styled.
Yeah, the styling on his hair was a bit, and again, that wasn't his fault. It came out of the box that way, but yeah.
And then this like just had the detail, had the sculpt. Hair still not as light, but a lot better, to be honest. And I think the lighting he has in these shots kind of does justice for it. So it's got me
Great
excited.
justice. Yeah, the likeness is really nice. And by the way,
And you
big
can
shout out
tell
to
he
Best
futzed
Arcade.
with it a little bit because like even his tabards look like they were messed with. It just looks like everything is sitting nice. The hair is nice. His eyes are
Yep.
posed. What like
This
he just
was
knew
a
what he was doing.
purposeful, right? A purposeful group of photos. Like, guys, this is what you can expect, and that's what I love. I love that because it happens with in art. You know, people were trolling about in art after all the stuff with Anakin, like showing Bruce Wayne with his hair flared out to the side and saying that's how it came out of the box. You know what I mean? That's just what happens. So it's nice to see when collectors like 1/6 Lovers and a lot of the other guys that put up videos and photos of this figure, they were trying to make us as collectors feel better. So I do appreciate that for sure. But big shout out to Beskar Kid, a channel member and a good friend. What's up, Beskar Kid? Thanks for being here, bro. I know Beskar Kid will have his very soon. I'm jealous because he posted. I saw his post on Facebook saying that he was getting his and it was on the way. So very jealous of you guys getting yours. Hopefully, I'll get mine maybe next week or the following week. But
crap, dude! I
we'll
just
see.
saw somebody's comment. I completely forgot. Jack Sparrow was Artisan, and I got
yeah,
that.
Artisan Jack Sparrow as well.
I do have an Artisan.
Yeah, Artisan Jack Sparrow. That's that
That one was just so good. I was like.
And that's another
Yeah,
one,
that's
another
it.
example for Artisan Jack Sparrow. Those little
Yeah, his
curls
hair
that
is
wrap
fine.
around his dreads. Like I've seen some people's copies where it didn't look so good. Mine is perfect, like literally perfect. And
Yeah,
actually,
mine's fine too.
I had 2 copies in my hand because I had a review copy that wasn't mine, and that one the hair didn't look as good, but the dreads look great on both copies. The dreads are excellent. They did a great job on those. Fantastic figure. Love that figure. And you know, I know people are gonna have their comments about accuracy and the hat sucks, blah blah blah, but it's still an awesome
and
figure.
if Lady Pull counts, she has some kind of hair, but it hasn't done
Lady
anything.
Pull doesn't count.
That's still,
Lady Pull
it
doesn't
still
count.
holds up. I'm just saying, it looks good still.
Yeah, Pedro says hashtag hotline confirmed. Keep your figures. Pedro said that, guys, on me, but maybe keep your figures. And Carter Collectibles says I would love to get those Blitzway Anakin and Obi-Wan, but the tailoring on Obi-Wan just throws me off. I'm excited nonetheless. I'm very excited for those. I actually really like the sculpt on the Anakin too, and the magnetic glass rolling eyeball system is amazing. Rooted hair. I'm really excited.
Those look so cool. I regret not taking
Bro,
them.
how can you not open it now? What the patience you have. Dude, this figure, the goat of all I couldn't, bro. If it arrived at 1 a.m, it'd be opened.
So you're telling us that you're holding out on us, Beskar? We could have had a video by now, and it's just sitting there.
Crazy.
Beskar, I want you to get off the stream right now because we're about to end the stream here. I want you to get out of here and go film your video. That's what
I'm looking forward to that.
I want to
Beskar.
see that
Me
TikTok
too.
and that reel.
I know.
Oh
dude.
yeah.
Of course, we're just joking, but dude, I agree with Chris. I'd be canceling the stream, man. I'm like, sorry, guys. But guys, that's gonna wrap it up. What a amazing turnout this stream. I appreciate you guys being. The Anakin Skywalker discussion on Facebook was less than civil. It was a lot of going back and forth with people, and it was not a good time for a lot of people who get affected by seeing people crap on figures. I say this
real
all the
quick,
time.
Who took those? Noah has something to say about Anakin. He said he's the goat.
He's right.
Who took those photos and those shots that made it look good?
I actually don't have the source, unfortunately, because it was shared in that Hot Toys Hotline Facebook chat, and I grabbed it from there for the stream. So, again, I'd love to give everybody a shout-out who did it, but shout-out to everybody, truly, who put out these early reviews and videos and stuff, because it was very, very helpful for us collectors. So, 1/6 Lovers, obviously, I just constantly talk about him because that's my dude, but everybody really who put out all the early stuff, we appreciate it.
And like you said, Connor, we're all adults in the chat here and everything. Like, people can handle criticism and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a shame that, there's a part of the community elsewhere that can't, handle that or it can handle it, but like not in the most gracious way. So, but I think everybody in this chat is really cool.
Yeah. And yeah, my biggest takeaway for people with the Anakin is you don't need validation from others if you like something.
Absolutely.
Or if you don't like something. Like, you don't need, Chris and I were going back and forth, but that's because we're pals, and that's what friends do. You debate with each other. And at the end of the day, you don't need somebody's validation to prove your opinion one way or the other. That's why I said when we're talking about Anakin, both here and in my video, I'm like, I'm not trying to convince you one way or the other, because your feelings about something are your feelings about something. But also sometimes we are wrong. We're all human. We look at something and we judge something too harshly, or we jump the gun. I'm not saying I don't do that sometimes, even though I'm a big proponent of not jumping the gun. I do sometimes too.
Or not even wrong. It's just like, I didn't see it in that light.
Right. It's like with the Blitzway DeLorean. I was sure that thing was going to be at least $1,500. I was sure of it. And then,
Yeah.
you know, and I was telling people, I'm like, it's got to be at least 1,500. And then when I saw 1,000, I was like, I'm glad that I was wrong.
Yeah.
Because,
On that, you were wrong. Yeah.
yeah, I was
no
like,
longer no longer up there. So
yeah,
we
my
ready to rock
DeLorean's
and roll.
gone, Chris's DeLorean's gone, but
I think we all own figures that like at first we were like, I don't like this. This looks like whatever. And then over like maybe the months go by or whatever, you're like, kind of like the way this figure's looking in pictures and stuff, and you get it. Like you love that figure that 6 months ago you thought looked like crap. So
yeah, it grows on you. Like it happens a lot. Like, and sometimes it's like, oh, I got to put it in a different pose or give it a different accessory. And I'm like, okay, that's how I see this character, not like how I had it before. That's all it takes sometimes. So guys, yeah, he said, or Mike with Sabine. Yeah.
Oh, God.
But yeah, that's all. That's my takeaway from it for you guys is just find your own enjoyment and stuff. Don't feel like you need validation from anyone, one way or the other, whether you like it or don't like it. That's if you want to be a hottie, that's how hotties do things. They find their own enjoyment and stuff, or unenjoyment. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And it is what it is, and you don't need somebody to tell you that you're wrong for not liking it. You know what I mean? Do your own thing. But guys, that's going to wrap it up. Like I said, check out Beskar Kid. Check out Collecting Madness. We might finally see a video from him after this long hiatus. We'll see the Artisan Anakin potentially.
Yeah, gotta do it.
Yeah, I will have a video up
Potentially,
tomorrow.
that one's a problem. I can't miss that. And
Can't believe anything he says,
told-
guys.
I told Jeremy that too. I was like,
Yeah, he better. I'll have a video up tomorrow for the Miles G. Morales. I'm very excited to take a look. I actually haven't even opened it yet. I'll have a video up tomorrow. Really excited to take a look at that. That is the last figure in that line. So it's going to close off that line, and then we'll have to wait another 2 years to see the movie and then get some more figures from it. But I know, dude, he's just slacking, man. We got to get him back. Get back at it. He said, or the other thing that he does is tell Chris to quit YouTube. But guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Guys, check out Thrawn's office on Instagram. Links in the description. Off the Racks, guys. Off the Racks has pre-orders for. He just put up Agent Venom. I was gonna ask him, and I was like, should I get the Agent Venom? And then I was like, I want the Agent Venom because it's just too freaking cool. So I pre-ordered Agent Venom. I think he only has 2. I think he only put up 3 or 4 when he put them up because he was very late. He usually is right on top of stuff. He does have Daredevil. Daredevil's up for pre-order, I think, for $290 out the door. Taxes, shipping, everything, no taxes, anything. So great price there. So check that out. And also, Jeremy Casa now has an Instagram, and he keeps joking with me. He's like, "Why am I not at 10,000 followers yet?" I'm like, "Dude, I don't even have 10,000 followers on anything, so that's why you're not at 10,000 followers." But
shorts.
Yeah, exactly right. Check out his Instagram, new Instagram. He now has an Instagram. I convinced him to do that, and his Facebook group as well. So check out his Facebook group. That is where he does most of his sales, and he's really kicking up the sales. So that's how I got my and also, guys, I forgot to mention, I have a review up of the 1/12 scale in art Batman. I did my first 1/12 scale review, and I had a great time reviewing that. I decided not to keep it because it was a review copy, and I had the opportunity to buy it. There was another collector that wanted it really bad, so it's off to their house now. But really, if you're into 1/12 scale, and I've been collecting 3.75, 6-inch stuff for years, so I know what a good, a quality build on a 1/12 scale figure is. Even though I haven't collected like Mafex and SH Figure Arts, trust me, that's a very nice figure. Very, very nice. And that sculpt is insane. Even if that sculpt was just blown up in 1/6 scale, it'd be like one of the best Bale sculpts I've seen on a mass-produced level. So check that out if you want to see something a little bit different from me. And then, of course, my Hobie Brown Spider-Punk review as well, which for some reason people aren't watching Spider-Punk. But that's going to wrap it up, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you want more in-depth thoughts on the Anakin, I do have a video up on the channel as well. Thank you, guys. What a great turnout this stream. Thank you, everybody, for the donations, all of the hotties, each and every one of you for just participating and being here. I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. And to break over 80 people watching for quite a while on the stream is just amazing for us knuckleheads here. So means a lot to us, guys. It really does. So like I said, next week, unless next week is just completely boring as shit and there's nothing, I think we'll at least have that final Celebration exclusive figure to talk about. We'll have one more stream next week, and then the following week, Chris and I will be gone in Florida. So we'll only have one more stream until the end of the month. So
I didn't get that invite. Sorry.
That's correct. He's like, whatever. the eye roll.
You want to book a last minute?
Send him to Florida. But,
pity invite.
Right. Take care, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and we'll see you next Tuesday at 7
Thanks, chat.
EST.